Hello, hello, hello. It's another glorious day, my tea sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your comforts together because it's time to dish tea. And you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meat.
Can't wait. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat.
Darling.
And hello, 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 hello. Hey, what's going on? Hey, to all of my tea sippers, my crumpet dunkers, my tea brewers, my pot stirrers, and my tea leaf readers. What's up with you babies? How are everything's in your world? And carrying on. It's another glorious day, my darling, so I hope you have all of your crumpets together because you know what time it is, honey. It is time to dish tea, and you are dishing tea, darlings. How? With Big Meats. What's going on? Hey, babies, we have had a very difficult week for us in the world today. And, yes, wait a minute, my grandbaby up in here. Hey, Grandma, you better sing that note. Hey, baby, what's going on? Okay, the big stud. Yes, hey, Buck, what's going on? Okay, we have had some trying times, and, this is usually Feel Good Friday. And so we are going to get into some things later on, but I've got to touch on a few things because y'all know I done got called back to the donut factory on a part-time on-call basis. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, when we're usually here, I wasn't able to be here with you because, of course, they got me on second shift. So now, y'all know, usually when we were doing the Donut Factory Chronicles, honey, and commentaries, I would do, because I'm usually an overnighter, third shifter. So I would come to y'all at that particular time before I got shut down, honey, because I was on the job. That was part of the shtick, the Donut Factory Chronicles. Well, I told y'all this before. Someone had reported me, and I said something that they didn't agree with. And so they went to my supervisors and told them that I was doing this and shit. And so they did an investigation on me, honey. And I got a write-up. So I had to shut that down and do something else. So now we are here. I'm a little late with you. We usually start at 9 o'clock, but I came in a little late because I was over listening to DJ Cedric, honey. DJ Cedric, for those of y'all who don't know, honey, is just the leader in gospel house music and things of that nature, honey. He usually spins down here in Atlanta, and I think he's originally from DC, I believe it is, or somewhere on that particular on that East Coast there. But he usually comes down here and spends on Sundays down here at the Mix. And I was listening to him and got caught up, honey, because he got to playing some shit. And I'm like, ooh. And I said, bitch, you got to come on because you got your own show to do, honey. So there is that. Right now, I'm waiting on Big Red to come on up in here with me. Y'all know Auntie Nikki is away on some family business out in Philly. So for those of y'all who are in Philly, y'all send her up your good wishes and carry it on so that she can come on back and join us here on the show. Hopefully I can get her to come on in and do some things with this child. Because she's going to need a healthy dose of I got to get the hell away from here. Okay, and et cetera. So that there is that. So what we're going to get into, I'm going to touch on the the non-indictment of Breonna Taylor's killers and carried on. But today we're going to get into a real good conversation. I need you guys to do this for me because I titled today's show, "It's Good for the Culture." Okay, it's good for the culture. And I'm going to tell y'all, honey, that damn phrase is getting on my motherfucking nerves. Okay? It really is. And the reason why I'm having a bit of a time trying to exactly find out why it's getting on my nerves. So I do know what they're trying to say, and I understand where all of the hoopla is going. But one of the things that's bothered me is that now is becoming a catchphrase. It's kind of like slang. You know, when we say that what the new word is or whatever, and now everybody is saying it. And then because everybody starts to say it, now it starts to get on your damn nerves or whatever because it really is coming out of somewhere. And so, it's good for the culture. Oh, we're doing it for the culture. You know, it's for the culture. And I'm like, what the fuck is that really supposed to mean? Has anybody even put a real definition to that particular phrase? And why is it that we have made it ours? Is it the fact that we are looking for something to identify as Black folks? Because, see, I'm going to tell you something. Every time we, as Black people, do something and try to get something to where it's supposedly ours, it always becomes a shtick or it becomes a commodity. You know what I'm saying? And then it becomes a thing or a joke. Remember back in the 70s when we had our own little handshake, you know, then we had 5 on the black hand side. Okay, be cool, baby. You know, honey, we are TCB because there's LIT up in here, honey. No, not LIT. It's GIT. We getting it together. Okay, now we're saying it's lit. Okay. You know, so remember, whenever we had our own thing, before, I know when I was a kid, it didn't become the pickup catch-all. It did become a joke, though, because remember, they were trying to do that on Good Times and all the other little shows where it was more so a color thing because the white folks that didn't know how to do it, you know, it became the shtick. You didn't know the handshake and the this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. So every time they would do it, it become the shtick. And it was ha, 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 ha. Look at this old funny little white boy. Don't know what he's doing. And we still have that, you know. So now we are into what's good for the culture. Okay. Oh, it's good for the culture. And that there just, it sends me into, it has now started to send me into a frenzy. And I'm trying to really lock this down as to, is it me taking things out of context? Am I the one that's so overboard, or am I being an old fuddy-duddy? You know, one of these little old bitches, you know, that's trying to crash in on the shit, or is this something that when we look at it or wait a minute, maybe not. Let's look at it. Am I overanalyzing it? Am I looking too far into it and making something out of nothing? You know, because it could be me. More than likely, it could be fucking me. Okay, and just hating on it because I get sick of it. You know what I'm saying? And I know what I hear. Every time I hear it, it's like, oh, this is a Black thing. You know, oh, this is a Black. Oh, it's good for the culture. Oh, let's do it for the culture. You know, and it's like, okay, so what if we do it for the culture? Then what is this supposed to do for the culture? Is this supposed to mean that this is a good step? If this is is you know, what is it? You know, hold on, Brad, what you say? You just being an old fuddy-duddy. Am I? Okay, explain it. Tell me where I am, honey. Okay, let's have the conversation. Because and I think maybe I'm just a little too sensitive, because what I am tired of, I am so tired of everything becoming a political statement now. You know, right now, especially now that we are in an election year, everything is a fucking political statement. You know what I'm saying? And right now, I cannot stand it. I just cannot stand it. And I thought I turned my ringer off. I'm sorry. And what it is, it just bothers me, because now here is another tool or another marketing point. that somebody can take that, you know, and run with it. You know, I mean, hell, look what they've done with Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter started off as a hashtag. The hashtag became a protest. The protest became a movement. Now, somebody else, and it then became bigger than what we thought it was, because we got all these hands in the pot. You know, supposedly this, that, and other. Now, everything is, oh, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. And it's kind of like, you know, everybody's saying it to make it seem as though they're cool, you know, or I'm down and no, I'm not racist, and no, I'm not this, because Black Lives Matter. You know, I mean, even us, I mean, look at what happened over the Labor Day weekend with the fights that was going on down here in Atlanta, okay, during the takeover Pride, because Black Pride was canceled, but the party promoters still insisted on having a Black Pride. So they promoted all these damn events. Not mad at them for their hustle, but at the same time, they promoted all these goddamn events and shit. And these bitches come from out of town, and everybody fighting every goddamn way. And then we get the children in the video hollering, oh, wait a minute, don't do that. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. And it became a satire. It became a, you know, rhetoric. And it became just foul and the joke and the butt of the joke. So now here we are. Let's do it for the culture. Let's do it for the culture. And now that I'm hearing that, and I'm saying it like that because I've heard Tamar Braxton say it with that slang, with that little slur. Oh, it's good for the culture, you know. And I swear it just lit me up, because I was like, okay, what the hell is that supposed to mean these days? Okay, so y'all come on and tell me y'all thoughts, because I don't want to keep repeating myself over and over, but it just seemed like this shit is just absolutely ridiculous. Okay, EJ's up in the house. Hey, EJ, what's going on, baby? Okay, for those of y'all over there listening on YouTube, and for those of you who are catching us on Black GDP TV, we thank you for coming on up in here. Okay, so wait a minute, what you say? Gospel house music, interesting. Child, yes, honey. Are you not hip to gospel house, Eric? Child, you better come on and get your life, baby, honey. The children been doing that on the dance floor for years before it became popular, you know. This here is a cocktail this time, honey. This here is mango, strawberry, Moscato, and vodka. Oh yeah. Okay, that's what we're doing tonight. Brad, what you say? Psychiatrist Frances Cress Wilson said, Black people are very serious about not being serious. I see your point. Okay. Okay, now you see where I'm going with it? And so that's why taglines like, it's good for the culture, or do it for the culture, you know, we seem to lose our validity with it anytime everybody else takes it and run with it, because we have not set the boundaries. We have not set legitimate. We have not given it its own narrative. You know what I'm saying? We have not defined it for ourselves. And so it becomes ambiguous. And in that ambiguity, folks are able to come in and then usurp it. And then it becomes this whole big thing, you know. Are we doing it for the culture? Now, which culture? Is it Black culture? Is it American culture? Is it, you know, multiculturalism? You know what I'm saying? So it becomes all of these particular kinds of do-I-diddies, and nobody is able to sit down and to give us what we need with it, you know. So I'm telling y'all, now there's this whole thing that's going on in the stratosphere with DJ Vlad and Godfrey and Lord Jamar. Is it Lamar or Jamar? Okay. I don't follow him, as you can tell. I think he's a rapper of some sort. I've heard him on Vlad a couple of times, and his stance on homosexuality and things, honey, has said, okay, let me let you straight man be over there, and I'll stay over here, because his rhetoric was so that way to it. It went beyond a personal opinion. It went beyond that for me, because I'm not one who's real quick to say it was hate speech or whatever when anybody has an opinion, but his was laced in so much to where I would say it was hate speech for me. So I would rather not deal with him. You understand? But in this particular instance, there's this whole big thing in the community with Vlad having misquoted Louis Farrakhan on something, and he got checked, and now, you know, folks are jumping on him like, no, you owe the minister an apology, this, that, and the other. And Vlad is like, okay, well, I will give him an apology as face to face if he could sit down and talk with me, you know. So basically, it's more so like, yeah, you know, grant me an interview and I'll give you this. It's a quid pro quo kind of thing. And I'm kind of 50-50 with that. First off, I'm like, okay, why should he? Because as far as he's concerned, you are nobody to him. It's the people, it's the culture that's in an uproar. So now I heard Godfrey explaining that, you know, he was glad that people were upset and that we need to protect our culture, you know, and this, that, and the other. So and then I was like, okay. But then are we doing this for the culture? And it became that kind of thing. And in the way how he was outlining, I was with him to a point, but then my own bias and prejudices about this it's good for the culture, let's do it for the culture mentality kind of thing. I just heard that. That's not what he said, but that's what I heard. Okay. And so it brought me to this point, and I was like, damn. You know, where are we with all of this? And how is it that we can grow beyond this? And why is it that every so many years, we as Black folks are always looking for fucking identity? We're always looking for something to say it's ours, you know, or trying to latch on to something. Then when we get it, we think we got it, but because we don't protect it, because we don't shape it, because we don't put boundaries on it, whatever, we let other people come in and usurp it. And then it becomes something else that we end up getting rid of, and then we end up starting all over from the drawing board. Why is it that we always go to the fucking drawing board? We're trying to define who we are as a collective. Okay, as a collective. So, you know, let's go here. Eric, what are you saying over here in the comments? I'm not totally sure if the subject is of the subject. It kind of speaks for itself to me how we are starting to group Black people in two groups. The Black folks and the niggas. Okay, okay. So again, is it good for the culture? Okay. Is it good for the culture? See, so and it becomes what culture do we have? Because it seems as though we are always trying to define and develop a culture. Then we got subcultures of a culture, of another culture. Subcultures have subcultures because then everybody wants individuality and this, that, and the other, and all of that. How can we get back to or create a new starting point and say, here, one of the things about our culture is that we have always been one to believe in family. Okay, let's start there. Let's be very basic. One of the things about us as a people is that we have always believed in family. And, okay, here we go. Because ever since our folks were snatched and taken away from us, you know, being sold off of this, that, and the other, it was imperative that we understand who family is. You know your family. You know who this is. You know who that is. You understand? It was imperative that we created a bond and a unit to understand that your name is everything. You are a so-and-so. I'm a Taylor. Okay? And because I'm a Taylor, I know that has a lot of weight. Whether I want to believe it or not, whether it's self-imposed or not, you know, because it could be just us pressuring us as family members to say, no, we have standards in this, that, and the other. Okay. Which is why us as a people, we have all these damn unspoken fucking rules, which is going to be a whole nother subject. We're going to get on that a whole nother time because I'm telling y'all, the unspoken rules within us as Black people, and I think it's universal or omniversal because I think every other particular group of people have their own set of unspoken rules, but us, it just seems as though we are the ones where it permeates the most because our shit is always publicized on television. Our crime and everything that we do that is in our low self, or those who our narrative as the collective has been based on, the part of us that doesn't define us, but the world has made that our narrative. Those are the stories and stuff that gets out there, and so now we're constantly trying to make sure that that's not what the thing is. You know what I'm saying? We're constantly trying to fight against that, fight against being oppressed, and fight against all of the negative, because our positive and our self-assurance and carrying on gets overlooked. You know, and then it gets overlooked because we don't demand our respect or command it. Not, let me say that right. We don't command it. See, to command respect is that I show up and my word speaks for me. Everything about me speaks for itself. When I come in, I'm of high regard, how I carry myself, how I interact with other people, my language, my posture, my clothing, how, all of my grooming and carrying on. How I present myself to the world is how I command my presence alone says you're going to respect me. Now, demanding it is when we come in being loud and trying to tell somebody what they're going to do and this, that, and the other. And sometimes we have to when we putting somebody in check. But most of the time, that there is not required. Because if you're on your shit and about your shit, then everything about you speaks for itself. You're going to command the respect. You're going to command the attention positively because there's nothing else that can be done, honey, but to give it to you. You understand? And when we demand, if that can fall on deaf ears, y'all know how do we treat babies, honey, when babies are throwing tantrums and carrying on? Okay? If we at home or whatever, if they out in public, what? I know I'm one our pops. Okay? Mine get popped on the legs and on them hands. No, you're not going to cut up out here. Okay, and then after so long, honey, no, you're not gonna cry and think that that's gonna get you the cookie or the piece of cake. No, that don't work. No, honey, you'll cry yourself to sleep. Okay, ain't that how we do children? Okay, well, how do you do your significant other? Okay, whenever they sit up there and nag you, what did you get the fuck up and walk out? I don't have to hear this, or you tune them out, right? So that's the same thing here. When we start to ask and start to demand, then that goes on deaf ears. And so now we sitting up there having this whole big old fight of something that goes round, it becomes round robin and it becomes needless. Okay, then it becomes a nuisance. Then you become the troublemaker. How about that? Okay, how about that? All right, let me go to some of the comments. Okay. Wait a minute, Theo came over here. What you say, Theo? You say, hey, Meech, what's up? Look, can we black people come together on anything? That's why we are where we are. You know what? Here's where it is. We are where we are because we half-ass it a lot of times. And I say a lot of times because the ideas are real. It's the execution that becomes a problem. Because in the execution, we got those who want to be leaders. We got very few people who want to follow. And the reason why we have very few people that want to follow is because in what they think they're doing, they think they're following, but what they're trying to do is change the narrative. They're trying to change it to where they do it their way or their way. Okay? And that's cool to a point. Because I'm the first one to tell you, honey, either it's going to be one or two things. Either I am going to dance to your music, but I'm going to dance my dance. Or I'm going to dance to my music and I'll dance your dance. You're not going to get me to where you play the music and you call out the dance. You're not going to do that. Because I'm not the whimsical monkey that does that pop up out the jack in the box because you done played the music. And now that I'm out the jack in the box, as long as I'm playing this music, you tell me what to do. And you tell me, no, I'm not that. No, that ain't me. Okay. So I have learned to adapt myself to where you're going to get one or the other, but you're going to get your work because everybody has their own rhythm and how they do things. At the same time, we as a community and as a people, what we have done is we have gotten out of wanting to be part of the army. Nobody wants to be a fucking soldier. Everybody wants to be a general, you know, or some kind. Everybody wants some kind of title. They don't want to be private. Okay, not private so-and-so, not private Taylor, not private Buckner, not private Roberts. Okay, not private Bowman's pen. They want to be sergeant or captain, you know, and carry on, and so that they can tell the other privates and bark orders and this, that, and the other. Then what we have all this damn misfangled soup, and then it becomes a big old mess. It just becomes a big old mess. So that's where it is. Okay, that's where it is. Okay, let me go here. Okay, hey Miss Sharon, what's going on, baby? Ha. Okay. It is starting to make a little more sense now. Family is big among us, especially since we don't often know where many of our bloodlines truly begin. How about that? Okay. How about that? Yes, the unspoken Black rules is something we definitely need to address. Child, listen, there's the unspoken rules as far as Black folks are concerned. We have a lot of unspoken rules when it comes to being male and female in this world. We got all this shit. And then more so, the unspoken rules, because everybody thinks that we're supposed to get this through osmosis. We just supposed to know this because it's supposed to be intuitive or instinctive or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, really? That's not making a lot of sense to me, because if I don't know, or look at children, if children don't know, you know, they're teaching, you're teaching them. So now you're teaching them by your actions, not by whatever. So then we got a lot of these unspoken rules, you know, that end up becoming the culture. So now we're doing it for the culture. We're doing it for the male culture, because Black men need to be, y'all know that, the effeminizing of Black men. So now the Black male culture, you know, we as Black men, honey, you know, we not Black straight men ain't taken seriously. They trying to effeminize us. Hollywood want to put a Black man in a dress all the goddamn time. We get all of those stupid shit that don't mean nothing to nobody but those who feel as though their masculinity is being questioned. How? I have no clue. I have no clue, and things of that nature. But these are some of the things that we have to deal with and contend with. You understand? But how is all of this going for the culture? Okay, y'all still ain't said that. Brad was the one to say that I was becoming a fuddy dud. Okay, and then he said that he understood what I was talking about. Okay, about Black people are very serious about not being very serious. Okay, I see your point. So he understands where I'm coming from in it. So now, why is it that this thing is so real right now? I'm betting on the fact that this is because we're in an identity crisis kind of thing. And that here in 2020, almost 2021, since we're halfway through the year, that we are still in an era where we're still trying to develop ourselves, and we're still trying to take heed to what's going on in the world and this, that, and the other. I'm still trying to understand all this, you know, and trying to really wrap my head around it so that it can make some sense. You know, I was liking the things, you know, the expression, it's good for the culture, or let's do it for the culture. But I'm still trying to understand its significance, its importance, it's how it defines us. How are we defining our culture? Because, you know, we as Black folk, we got this hip hop culture. We also got R&B culture as far as musically inclined. You know, we got R&B culture. Then we have neo soul and carrying on, which breaks down into many different things and many different sets within us. So when we say we're doing it for the culture, you know, is this a universal culture thing, or is it a Black only thing, or what is this, so it can make total sense, so it has absolute truth, so that if this is going to be a Black, remember when we used to say it's a Black thing and you just don't understand? Remember that? That was cute back in the day. I like that, actually, because it was like, and there's no need for us to try to help anybody outside of us understand it. You understand? This is what we do. This is us. Okay. And this is a part of what, and then it's mutable because those things that really ain't us that folks are trying to say, oh, it's a black thing, you won't understand. If it's that ghetto janky shit, you know, we can say, and we can call it out that, no, that's ghetto shit. That ain't a black thing. That's a ghetto thing. You know what I'm saying? And they help us to develop and to be a little bit more definitive about who we are as a people, and as far as us identifying ourselves and finding our identity. Is that making sense? Okay. Here we go. Let me see. A few things about me and why I can't relate. I'm an immigrant from the islands. My philosophy is treat others how you want to be treated. And in that sense, really don't judge folks. Okay, you know what? Now let's go there. Okay, you're from the islands, EJ. That's wonderful, actually. Because, see, here it is. A lot of islanders who come over here to the mainland, okay, most of your heritage it's not rooted in a lot of the slave trade and this, that, and the other. A lot of islanders and stuff, you know, the Haitians and carrying on specifically, they are known for fighting back and taking over their country and absolutely standing independent. And they don't have a lot of the slave narrative or the slave background or the slave heritage that American black folks do. So oftentimes there is a rift and a divide because you coming from a different narrative. So when folks sit up there and say we as black folks been struggling and carrying on, may not be your heritage. And then on top of it, coming over here to the mainland, you're able to take advantage of a lot of the stuff that maybe we haven't been able to. You know, you're able to come over as far as work, as far as building and carrying on, because that monkey on the back of what slave culture is and our ancestors is, and having that narrative, you know, being brought down and that being part of our story, that's something that y'all don't relate to. So when you hear it, it's like, oh, okay, but you don't necessarily get it. But then when it comes down to the struggle as to why, you know, they lump all of us together as blacks and this, that, and the other. So the islanders are like, well, we have our own culture. You know, we have our own culture. We do things a little bit differently and this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. And then you get criticized because a lot of island culture is very hypersexual, it seems. And, you know, all we know is y'all come from the islands. You got broken English. You like to smoke weed, and y'all are horny as hell. Okay. And you're rude. Okay. A lot of islanders are very, and it's culturally speaking, you know. So when we as American blacks deal and intertwine with other blacks from other people, from other places, particularly those who come from the islands and carrying on, it becomes a culture clash, because now it becomes, oh, well, y'all think y'all better than us. And then there are some islanders who feel as though that they are, because they see American blacks as lazy, shiftless, you know, the narrative that a lot of white folks have said about us, and that the few who are the lower end of us and the few who are feeding into the stereotype, they become the ones that a lot of people see, and then it starts to perpetuate a lot of that kind of thinking, you know. So again, what's good for the culture? Is it good for the culture? It's good for the culture. Which culture? So this is why these particular things, I'm just stuck on this damn thing, because I need to understand how this is. You know. Oh, okay. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, this is real good. What you say? It's more about the books I read. I read How to Win Friends and Influence People and Rich Dad Poor Dad. I found work easily. Oh, okay. So you say, so now there's an educational component. Okay. And things of that nature. You know, How to Win Friends and Influence People and Rich Dad Poor Dad, which I have Rich Dad Poor Dad. And it's really good, actually. I don't know about How to Win and Influence Friends. I don't have that book. But nonetheless, see, this is what we're talking about. See, so you come over, and the whole idea of having other tools that you have had to come over, so you were able to apply those tools. And I'm sure the narrative for you or a lot of islanders is probably one that says, if I can do this, and this is supposed to be America, the greatest country on earth, y'all been here so much longer, how come y'all haven't been able to do this and do the same thing that we are? And I'm sure that becomes the whole big fight because we're saying, yeah, we have all of those books and carrying on, but because of who we are, we've been over here, and because they see me as this, and because I've tried to do that and carried on, they won't give me the same opportunity because they will see you as an immigrant. And immigrants in this country are treated a little bit better than natives because for whatever reason. Now, my own personal belief is that oftentimes immigrants seem as though they're a little bit more hungrier. You know, they're willing to work. They're willing to accept what it is. And if they accept it, then they're willing to work with it. Us, on the other hand, we know what the value of it is, but no, we're not taking that, just pennies and things. You're not going to disrespect me and tell me that my work is only worth this and this, that, and the other. But what happens is we have a number of people who have jumped on that bandwagon, but hell, your ass ain't working at all. You know, you should have been talking about something, oh, I can't do that for that little bit amount of money. Bitch, you ain't got no money. Okay, oatmeal is better than no meal, and Lord knows I can't stand oatmeal, honey. Oatmeal is I can't do nothing with oatmeal but put it in the cookie. So if that's the only way how I'm gonna eat it, guess what? We're gonna find a way to make some oatmeal cookies out of this, right? Oatmeal is better than no meal, you know. And so that there becomes it becomes a fight, and we as Black folks, you know, with the internalized fighting, y'all know I've said this on a few shows ago. A lot of the internalized stuff that we have to deal with is because, number one, we're still trying to find our identity. Number two, we are still fighting internally from islanders and Africans and those others who come over to the country and things of that nature. And so we're fighting because now everybody is lumped in the same category. And all they see is skin color. They don't know ethnicity. They don't know regions and carrying on. All they see is Black folks. And so when you start to internalize or get the feeling or the treatment of the internalizing the systemic racism and stuff that goes on here, it's easy for you to fight and say, oh, this is not me because I'm not from here. And that's where I think a lot of the clash can come in, because it's easy for African Americans, real African Americans, you know, who just got here to say, no, I'm not this, I'm here, and I'm coming here because I want to take advantage of the education. I want to do this so I can go back to my country to help my people, and this, that, and the other. So we have a lot of that. So I think that's what it is. And then it goes back to what I'm saying about the culture. Whose culture is it good for? You know? So that there was that. Okay. My baby Otis Mac would say, honey, pardon my indulgence. Okay. So now, let's do this. I'm going to take a commercial break. When I come back, we're going to continue this, but I want to get into this whole verdict thing with Breonna, the killers of Breonna Taylor, okay, and carried on. We're going to get into that when I come back. So let me take a quick little commercial. Y'all stay with me, and we'll be right back in just a few moments, okay? Be bold, be unique, be the tea, with a unique body oil fragrance from the Sensuality Fragrance Collection. The Sensuality Collection embodies a unique array of customized original scents created by Big Meech. Indulge yourself in such fragrances as eye candy, foreplay, anticipation, shower fresh, naked beauty, or pay homage to the motherland and choose an oil from our exclusive Wakanda collection. Over 17 different scents that will tantalize your senses. Order yours today. Log on to www.dishingtea.com for more information. Because remember, it's all about the tea. Sensuality, that is. Attention all business owners. Use your advertising dollars here. Looking to reach a more diverse audience for your products and your services? Well, this is the platform for you. Dishing Tea Entertainment welcomes all businesses who wish to expand their brands and looking for clientele that's more than grown and sexy, but also the seasoned and sophisticated. For more information on how this spot can be yours, contact Big Meat at 404-914-5610 or go to our website at www.dishingtea.com. The views and opinions expressed here on Dishing Tea TV are strictly those of the hosts and guests of this program. They do not reflect the views and opinions or governing actions of any of the sponsors or affiliates of Dishing Tea Entertainment, Artist First Entertainment, Big Guy ENT, Atlanta Hot Radio, Black GDP TV, or Diversity TV. Your viewing and listening discretion is advised. All right, and we are back. If you're just tuning in, thank you for joining Dishing Tea with Big Meech. It seems that I'm solo right now. My co-hosts are busy taking care of some family business. Aunt Nikki's in Philly. I was going to say New York, but Aunt Nikki's in Philly right now handling some family business, and I know Big Red is handling some stuff on the phone. He's going to be joining us soon, but we're going to get into this. But I'm going to say this here because I'm going to put this here so that it's immortalized. But my road dog made this T-shirt, and the T-shirt he says, if Black Lives Matter, then wear a damn face mask. Okay. So we're going to get those T-shirts made because I really believe that is essential. Okay, that there is essential. Now, I don't know how y'all feel about these damn masks. We all hate wearing the damn things, but honey, until they get this shit contained, have your face covering on, honey, when you're going to be out and about and around other people. Okay? Put your face mask on. Your face covering. Okay, your face covering. Now let's go back to the comments because I want to go here. So you'll say, yes, it's an old tactic they've been using on us forever, deciding and divide and conquer. They got us so divided on culture. We are caught up. Okay, right. I like that. I believe that time heals all wounds, and I appreciate MLK and Rosa Parks. In retrospect, I see that we are standing on their foundation today. It only gets better from here. Okay. Hate them, but I wear them religiously. Okay, exactly. I can't stand these damn things because y'all know I'm asthmatic, and And I also have sensitive skin. So what I have to do is I keep my hand sanitizer when I'm at work because, oh, yeah, Amy, you know I got called back, right? I'm part-time, but I'm there. And so we have to wear the mask all day. Okay. So I have to, every so often I come out of it so that I can breathe. And then I take the hand sanitizer and I wipe my face and stuff because it's alcohol. Or I wipe my face down so that, the mask and stuff don't get to me or whatever. So, there's a lot of people who break out with what they call a maskne, macne or whatever. So, yeah, but in order for us to, until we get this thing contained, like the flu and carrying on, we already know it's a virus. It ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. So as far as it being cured, it's not going to happen. But we can't get it contained like we have the common cold and the flu and carrying on. So that should somebody become contracted to it or whatever, we're able to have treatment for it, and you're able to do this, and you're going to be down for X amount of days, but it's containable, blah, 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 blah. Same thing like we do with the flu and pneumonia and all that other jazz. We just got to get it contained. And right now it's not contained because, coronavirus is a combination of viruses. And on top of it, it's mutating. Okay, so this particular thing that they done created, and I believe it's man-made, this thing that they done put out here is mutating. So we're still learning about it. Okay, so that's how come all these vaccines and stuff that they're trying to make so quickly. No, it's too fast. You got to have the studies. Who in the hell are you testing these damn things on? And how is the data going to be that way? The data doesn't do. The data doesn't, you can't have that data because it's not far out to say what the possible side effects are going to be in this dynamic. We don't have it. They're trying to do this too fast. And I really believe that because this is an election year, that this child, the current administration, is trying to go down in history as, oh, look at what I did. You understand? And it's too quick. Now, do I admire the gusto? I admire the gusto for wanting to do it. But it's too quick when you're dealing with science. This ain't no damn building. And then he should know that. He's a builder. He builds hotels. You can't build a hotel too goddamn fast because the foundation won't be right and the beams fall. And then there's other damn... He knows this. Okay? He knows this. So, yeah. Okay? Are you glad to be back? It's a bittersweet thing because we're on limited duty right now. Okay, it's all limited, and I can't imagine those men are coming. We're not even in the box. I'm at the front desk, or at the valet stand, because we don't do the patrols or whatever. We're very limited in our duties and stuff. We don't do the extensive patrols that we do because everything is locked down. So I'm at the front on mask patrol to make sure everybody come in the building with the masks and carrying on. Right. Okay. Because of the COVID and carrying on, we can't, nobody can be in the lobby and carrying on in all the common areas without one. And PNP is now open on Fridays and Saturdays from 5 to 11. Ha. Okay. Right. Okay. Do you know that whatever vaccine they come with within the next year has not been fully or properly tested? Okay, do know that. Exactly. So is that good for the culture? Ha! Okay, is it good for the culture? Let's do it for the culture. Okay, So be that as it may. I'm going to share with y'all a video. I'm sure some of you have seen this. If not, get ready. Okay, just get ready because I believe this is going to be one of those. Okay, and yeah, I'm gonna let this speak for itself.
He mentioned at the press conference, which I thought was quite interesting, that he's a black man. And as I laid and cried and hurt for Tamika Palmer, and for Breonna Taylor, and for Kenny Walker, and for Janiyah, who we need to love up on. As I laid there and I thought about him saying he's a black man, I thought about the ships that went into Fort Monroe and Jamestown with our people on them over 400 years ago, and how there were also black men on those ships that were responsible for bringing our people over here. Daniel Cameron is no different than the sellout Negroes that sold our people into slavery and helped white men to capture our people, to abuse them and to traffic them while our women were raped, while our men were raped by savages. That is who you are, Daniel Cameron. You are a coward, you are a sellout, and you were used by the system to harm your own mama, your own black mama. We have no respect for you, no respect for your black skin, because all of our skin folk ain't our kin folk, and you do not belong to black people at all.
All right. Now, she said that, didn't she? Huh? Did she say that for you children? Did she say that for your baby? Okay. Because now I'm going to take a couple of issues with this, because one of the things that bothers me, and I'm tired. My nose and stuff is going that way. Wait a minute, what is all this? I'm trying to make sure that, okay, oh, this is an advertisement. What? Child, bad. How y'all running their advertisement on that? Something is itching my nose. Okay, I don't have any nose hairs, but something is tickling my nose, and it's crazy. But now I have a couple of issues, and I'm going to say this like this, because I agree with what she said. At the same time, here is something that we need to consider, and that there is, we as African Americans, black folks, brown folks in this country, what we have to be careful with doing is making sure that just because we disagree with another black man's decision, or we disagree with something that they said, that we don't be the ones to jump on the bandwagon to want to call them coons and this, that, and the other. And she didn't use that word, but basically she didn't put him in that category. She did say he's a sellout. So I want to make sure that, in our disgust for what was said and what happened, that we don't be quick to jump on that bandwagon because we want, it's kind of like the cancel culture. Is that good for the culture? Okay, just to cancel him out because he's done something that we disagreed with. Now, having said that proviso, in this particular case, I think she is absolutely right. Because as far as I'm concerned, according to, I've got to do my own research on this, y'all. So for those of y'all who are fact checkers and stuff up in here, I want y'all to go look this up, because I came across something and I can't find it again. That's why I say look it up for me and put it in here. I have found and read that Mr. Cameron, Daniel Cameron, that his wife, he happens to be married to a white woman, his wife is somehow connected with the current administration. I don't know if she is a friend of a friend to the vice president or what, but he's somehow connected to this administration. And that, now I did hear, listening to Sonny Halston on The View yesterday, that Mr. Man, he is the attorney general and the district attorney or whatever for the state of Kentucky. But his court, he doesn't have the experience. He's never tried a court case like that. He's never tried any criminal cases such as this. So him writing the briefs and carrying on and presenting evidence to this grand jury, they're saying, okay, well, what didn't you do? Benjamin Crump is looking for, they want to look at the transcript to see exactly what was presented and what was given to them so that they could see how in the hell that a jury was able, a grand jury was able to come up with this kind of do I diddy? How did they come up with this? Because here's the slap in the face. The real slap in the face, as opposed to the kick in my goddamn rubber parts and my side with steel toe boots. Not only did y'all not charge the other two children, okay, who was in on this. Number one, y'all did not go after everybody who fucked up the thing, okay? None of the other people who signed, the judge that signed off on the knock warrant, nobody to sit down there to sit up there and let them know that they had already had the guy in custody. Y'all didn't go after none of this damn department. Then on top of it, y'all said that the child was getting for wanton endangerment because the bullets that went into the other person's apartment. Well, catch this. The bullets that went into the other person's apartment that they charged him with were white residents. The bullets that went into the black people's apartment that was upstairs, ain't nobody said nothing about that. They didn't even include them in the wanton endangerment charges. So y'all have purposely made this a race thing without even it being a race thing. So you claim. You understand? I want to know if they brought up in all the evidence that the ex-boyfriend that they had in custody, they told him, and this came out in the news, they told him they would cut him a deal if he admitted or had stated that BEOANNA was his sidekick and that she was getting was the trap house, that she was receiving the dope and stuff for him to come and pick up. They tried to cover their asses on saying that they didn't have the wrong house. You see, you understand? So I wonder if all of that was brought up in the trial or in this thing. So here we have, and here we have whatever this bullshit is, and it's becoming so blatantly and such a fiasco to where this is such a political stunt to where how do we as a people now sit up here and just take this line down? How do we sit down here and say, no, you know, either we're not going to vote and care, no, how do we not raise our voices? Why are we not at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue? Why are we not there? How come we are not down at our state capitals talking to our congressmen and carrying on? But listen, y'all fucked this up. Y'all need to get his ass up, get everybody involved up out of here. We need to sit down. All of us need to take that and put that where it belongs. We got to go after those who make the laws. We got to go after those who are in power. Because that if we the people are the power, then we need to go challenge the people who we put in there to represent our power. How is that? How is that? Okay, we so busy fucked up with all this other bullshit and distractions to where we're not even looking at what's real. Hold on, let me go to the comments because y'all done came up in here on that one. Okay. Y'all done came up in here on that one. Okay. Okay, Amy said, wow, what a change. Yeah. The donut factory has changed a lot. There are reasons most vaccines take years to develop. Please do your research. How about that? Okay, well, she said that. How? She said that, admit that. Okay, she's a niece to Mitch McConnell is what I heard. Okay. It is said she's related to Mitch McConnell, I believe. Got my research department on that right now. Give me your research. You better give me your damn research department, honey. Lord knows I need one because, yeah, we're doing so much, honey. I got to have somebody who I can put on and get that stuff done. His wife, is somehow connected to Mitch McConnell. He was an honorary guest at their wedding. Oh, really? Really? Interesting. Where are the transcripts for the trial, which, if I'm not mistaken, they said won't be released due to the nature of the case? Are you serious? Wait a minute. Because I felt that part in my spirit. I felt that shit in my motherfucking spirit. And child, did they say that for real? Wait a minute. Who are the people that were interviewed? And out of 12 people, only one person said they heard them knock. This is a complete BS clusterfuck situation, and BEOANNA's family deserves better. I agree 10,000%, child. I agree 10,000%. Okay, this has been a lot. I know, Gia, it has been a lot, honey. It has been extremely. Wait a minute. See, that just riled up my nerves. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me take a sip. That has just infuriated me. Because I felt that. I felt that in my spirit. I'm going to tell you what I heard in a daydream. I had heard that that particular case or whatever, all the transcripts and stuff, I had heard in a dream that they were locked and sealed for X amount of years. I don't remember the many years. I just heard that in a dream that they were sealed. Okay? You let this shit be. You hear me? You let that be true, that they are not going to release the damn transcript for this shit on something that should have been public to begin with. But you gonna get up here and make a motherfucking statement the way that you did? Talking about sometimes, oh, wait a minute, let me play. I'm gonna let y'all hear him. Hold on. I'm gonna let you hear him in his own words. See, this is why what Miss Thing said, Miss Tamika Mallory said, honey, no, fuck, I stand behind her on this one. Listen.
This must be Dr. Michael Stern. Dr. Christie, I believe something ominous is happening.
Hold on,
Someone is taking diseases and weaponizing them. We have to stop it. Saving the world.
It's the end of the world.
The last 48 hours, we went toe-to-toe with Homeland Security. We buried a body.
It's a good grave.
That looks good, honey. Kind of like what we're going through right now with Corona down it. That's on Prime, child. But that's our commercial.
During the last 6 months, we've all heard mention of possible charges that could be brought in this case. It's important to understand that all the charges that have been mentioned have specific meanings and ramifications. Criminal homicide encompasses the taking of a life by another. While there are 6 possible homicide charges under Kentucky law, these charges are not applicable to the facts before us because our investigation showed and the grand jury agreed that Mattingly and Cosgrove were justified in the return of deadly fire after having been fired upon by Kenneth Walker. Let me state that again. According to Kentucky law, the use of force by Mattingly and Cosgrove was justified to protect themselves. This justification bars us from pursuing criminal charges in Miss Breonna Taylor's death. The truth is now before us. The facts have been examined, and a grand jury comprised of our peers and fellow citizens has made a decision. Justice is not often easy, does not fit the mold of public opinion, and it does not conform to shifting standards. It answers only to the facts and to the law. With this in mind, we must now ask ourselves, where do we go from here?
Okay, that's all they got of that. But I didn't want to hear the rest of that. Okay, because I was trying to find the rest of it.
Everything in Utopia is
like,
real.
No, fuck you.
Basement scientist inserts himself into violence.
That shit there was half-assed. And see, here's what we have to do. I tell y'all, words have power. And we have to be sure of what we ask, because we got exactly what we asked for. What do I mean by that? The only thing we kept saying is we wanted them arrested. Okay, they need to be arrested. They need to be we want an indictment. Well, we got one, but we only got one. We didn't get all of them. Okay, they got an indictment. And then on top of that, they sit down there and charge him with the least excessive crime that could, whatever. This little bullshit. Okay. Wanted indictment. Bitch, y'all done blew this girl's house up. What about the bullet that landed in her house? We're not going to talk about the one that hit her body. What about the ones that landed in the house? Okay. What about that? Okay. And how is it that the death of somebody in this particular case, well, you have not proven that you knocked, and then don't they have the tapes where one of the cops was saying on his own camera tape in the interview that he don't remember if they announced it or not? Didn't one of the cops say that? So if you don't trust your own memory on something that you're supposed to do, because this was a no-knock warrant, this was a no-knock. So you wasn't going to say nothing, damn it. It's a no-knock warrant. You don't have to. Huh? So what does that mean, children? Somebody's trying to cover up their ass. Now here's the other thing. Now wait a minute. Wait. Because wasn't it said that they falsified the records and saying that it wasn't as bad as it was told? Didn't the mother sit down there and say that they told her that there was not a lot of damage done? And wasn't it stated? I heard that the mama didn't even get a chance to see her baby. They had took the body out the back door or something. They concealed the body so that the mama didn't see the body. Huh? So if y'all did all of that to cover y'all asses, how in the fuck does this go down like this? Huh? How? And who are, now y'all know the jury selection is always difficult. And you know that shit is always secret and carrying on the blah. But now that this is over, where the jury at? How come did y'all sequester them, or did y'all shoo them away so that they don't talk to the media? See, being on the jury, you are only secret until after the trial. Because once you did your civic duty, you are done. So now you get to go talk about any and everything. So how come the jurors were not put in front of the media? Well, what were they? So we can find out who they are, to find out how this come about. What? So now y'all tell me, is that good for the culture? Let's do it for the culture. Huh? Talk to me, jury. Because I can't. I can't. This is why we must vote. State Attorney General is an elected position. Yes, the transcript will not be released under Kentucky law. Wait a minute. Eric, wait. It has been said that the one and only witness that spoke to the grand jury council originally said the officers did not announce themselves in the end while they paid the family if they knew they were completely in the right with their actions. I'm a leader. Okay, I was stuck for a minute. I'm gonna leave it there. Which, if I'm not mistaken, they basically did an internal interview, which is a cover-up for the officers. He's basically lying. I totally agree. Dominic, I totally agree. Yeah, he can go to hell. He has been bought and paid for. Now, these people fired over 20 rounds in this house. Now, the cop got out on $15,000 bond. Exactly. I know black people who got $50,000 bond for misdemeanors. Now, what does that tell you? What does that do for the culture? Ha! Say it, Theo. What does that do for the motherfucking culture? Okay? This is it. Now, listen, because I'm here in Georgia, and I don't know all the Georgia laws or whatever hell, I'm from Michigan, and I don't know all the Michigan laws. But, honey, I'm telling y'all the absolute truth. One of the things that we have to do as a people, and this is across the spectrum, but particularly I'm talking to us as black folks, because oftentimes, you know, another phrase that I can't stand, I know my rights. Do you? See, that's another one of them catchphrases that just burns the fuck up out of me. Every time I hear that, when folks are dealing with the police or whatever, and the first thing they say is, I know my rights. No, the fuck you don't, because if you did, you wouldn't be doing all that goddamn talking. Because you have the right to remain silent. You ain't got to say shit. Okay, but you're so busy running off at the motherfucking mouth. I know my rights, y'all. Oh my God. Oh. Okay, I swear that bullshit gets on my nerves. Okay, so one of the things that we have to do is we have to educate ourselves about our state laws. And then if you are traveling, like if you getting ready to go and you trying to go to California or Florida or wherever, particularly if you're coming down here to these southern states, you have to educate yourself at least on the basic shit so that you know what not to go down here and do. Now, you're not coming down here to run them up, or are you? Excuse me. But in understanding, you have to understand the laws of the land where you're going so that if you get in trouble, you know how to maneuver. You understand? Child, come on now. Amy, what you saying, girl? You said, for what I understand about the cover-up part, the medical examiner did not record any bullets or have put a different cause of death. Yeah, I heard that. Okay, right. So see, here we are with we have so much here that has to be presented, because whether it's true or not, we got shadow of doubt here. You understand? So that has to be presented so that it can be proven. No, that's not true. That's not true. Fact check it. But right now, all we have is this is stuff that's been reported on the news. So if y'all claiming it's fake news or whatever, prove it wrong. So was any of that stuff presented during this grand jury thing? See, I'm troubled by this. I'm so troubled. I'm so troubled. I am so fucking troubled by all of this. You understand? And when it happened, when all this aired and carried on, now what are y'all thinking about the riots? And I'm calling them riots. No, because they didn't tear up nothing or whatever. What they did was they were protesting and they got into it with the police. And they're saying that it was a couple of police officers that got hurt. A couple got shot at or whatever. But then I just found something that said that one of the two police officers that was shot, that was claiming he shot his own ass. Okay, oh shit, I wish I had that. They said that he shot his own ass. Okay, now he's not, there's not a lot of they're going to recover whatever, but they had to go into surgery, whatever. I guess they had to remove the bullets. But nonetheless, what are your thoughts on all of that? Because see, here's the thing, and somebody told me, they called me and said, it was Tony Hall. Tony called me. And he was like, listen, he said, this shit ain't gonna take, nobody's gonna start listening until we start having a lot of dead police officers. And I don't advocate, and I'm not condoning any of this kind of violence. I don't condone it at all. In fact, my goal is to see how we can come about this in a different direction. Not to minimize your pain or your anger, but we have to fight differently because they're expecting all of the hoopla. Okay, they're expecting because they want to put somebody in jail. Remember what we said a few shows ago. The 13th Amendment that told y'all, honey, as far as we as blacks are concerned, as far as being free. Yeah, you free unless you go to jail. Because when you become a prisoner, honey, you are not free anymore. So technically, prisoners are now slaves. They're legalized slaves. Okay? So having said that, is it probable cause or logical thinking that a lot of the crimes and carrying on that we're hearing about in the streets today, everybody want to jump on black crime? Okay, do you really believe that it's crime, or do you believe it's a setup because they're trying to arrest the children to put them in jail, because jails are now privatized, a lot of them. A lot of them are now privatized or whatever, so that they can come in and do the shit that they do. Remember back in the day, they only stuck to making a license plate and stuff for the state because you were paying off a debt to the state or whatever, Now, honey, they doing a whole bunch of shit. Training dogs, all that shit. You know, they're doing a whole bunch because they're free labor or real cheap labor. Okay, so what is the T here? Okay, where do we go from here, children? Where do we go? How is it that we can better ourselves so that as we're protesting, that those who are on the lines of protesting are able to protest peacefully without getting all caught up? Then we got to take those who are angry, those who want to tear some shit down. We got to channel their energy. You understand? Now, granted, as I was saying about the police officers, I don't condone all of this. I don't. I really don't. But unfortunately, we all know it's the squeaky wheel that gets the grease. Okay? And unfortunately, innocent people are going to become casualties in all of this. Okay? Innocent people are going to become casualties. And then the biggest letdown of it all is this. We as taxpayers are going to pay for it. Because as soon as they keep telling y'all they're not going to go up on taxes, but y'all know during George Floyd or whatever, they burned down that damn police station, which is the first time that I've ever seen that done, honey, in a protest. Okay, because you mad at the police officers. Yeah, you fucked up the police cars. You fucked up the police station. That was common sense to me. Okay. However, in irrational hour, you know what I'm saying? They were irrational and they're angry. So where did they take it out of? Who they're angry with? But the sad thing is, and we all know this to be true, and nobody wants to put that out there because we don't want it to happen. However, we do know that it's going... is that when it happens, I'm not going to say if it happens, because when it happens, it's going to take the right somebody to do it. Y'all see, they just ambushed two cops the other day. Okay? When it happens, and it's not going to be the ones you're mad at, it's always the innocent ones, the ones who are the good ones, the ones who are doing the right thing. It's always one of them that get taken out and snuffed out. You know? Because of the bad apples in the motherfucking bunch, or the inexperienced. I won't say untrained because they got some kind of training. It's just that they're inexperienced, or they don't sit down and ask about this and ask about that. As far as the training is concerned, I want to know whatever happened to hand-to-hand combat training. Is it still part of the curriculum as far as police training? If you're a police officer, I need Stan in on this. I want to know about hand-to-hand combat. Okay? Hand-to-hand combat. Back in the day, remember when we used to watch Charlie's Angels? Okay, Charlie's Angels came on, honey. Kelly came on doing karate and flipped the motherfucking the trainer. Right? That's Charlie's Angels. That's a fucking TV show. That's a TV show. Okay, Cleopatra Jones was a movie, but why was she bad? Because not only was she smart and she could pack a pistol, honey, that bitch had martial arts that could take a nigga down. And then handcuffed him and said, "You under." Teresa Graves and Police Woman. I mean, get Christy Love. Christy Love was what? She was you under arrest, sugar. Hand over the bread. That's television and movies. So if we grew up knowing that, what in the world has happened with hand-to-hand combat here? Especially, we got women on the force. You got these women up in here, child. You got this little 120-pound woman got to go up against this 370-pound man. Okay? Got to wrestle to put cuffs on. That's already going to be a fight to cuff them. Okay, where are the special skills? Huh? Where are they? How come Oh, wait a minute. Somebody, it was Steve Harvey that said this. And when he said this, I gagged because I didn't realize this. Just recently, he says a police officer goes through 22 weeks of training. Okay? 22 weeks of training. Now, in 22 weeks, you got to understand the law. You got to understand combat. You got to understand how to shoot that gun. You got to understand, this, that, and that. That is ridiculous because he said it takes a barber 2 years to get a license in order to cut your goddamn hair. And I said, what? When he said that, it floored me. Because I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. How do you not train the children that's going out here to protect and serve? How come they don't know the law? And I know Aunt Nikki and I said this all the time, that all police officers need to at least get a degree in criminal justice. At least an associate's, so that you know what the fuck it is that you're doing. At least. Now, how is it that the training is so that way for police officers, but lawyers got to go into fucking debt to become a lawyer to interpret the law and to execute the law and care? How is the balance in that don't even make sense, because the DA and the police officers work hand in hand. Ain't that what we learned when we watch CSI or Law and Order? These are the stories of the police department and those who handle it. You got the police first when they capture the fuckers, and then it goes to the case, right? And then they get subpoenaed into court. But these folks don't know the law. And then you're going to be quick to say, oh, I know my rights. Is that good for the culture? Y'all got quiet on me. Talk to me. Let me go to the comments. Honey. Gerald came up here. Hello from Orlando, Florida. Darling, I hate we're not going to be there for Big Boy Pride, honey. Well, I knew the verdict after the 12 million. And plus, he's married to Mitch. Oh, it's Mitch's granddaughter. It's the granddaughter? The granddaughter. He, meaning the AJ. Okay, okay. Stan Mason from our research department. Please report to the office. Thank you. Definitely could use your insight on this subject. Is that the page? Wait a minute. What pages you got to do it 3 times. Stan Mason from the research department. Please report to the office. Thank you. Stan Mason from our research department. Please report to the office. Thank you. Definitely could use your insight on this subject. That's funny, Eric. That's funny. The cops are trained, yet as my brother has said, the training goes out the window when you have this shoot first, think later mentality. The cops who are highly skilled leave for more lucrative positions in certain states which provide better opportunities for them. You know what? I can't fuck with that. Not only that, but just teachers and doctors, they should continue to be trained even as they are on the job. You know what? Don't you get me started with that. Don't get me started with that, because I'm going to tell you, I totally agree with that. It's just like doctors. Every time something new comes up, you got to learn the new skills. You have to be a constant student in order to perfect your craft. EJ said what's crazy is they have police for police. When they get hurt on the job, there's police to watch them to see if it's real or fake, except gunshot wounds. Okay, well, how about that? Now, you know what? Wait a minute. You done brought up something, and I want to play something. Let me find it. What has happened, as far as police officers are concerned, y'all know my husband, number 246, Mr. Michael J. White. Okay, y'all understand who he is? Yeah, Michael Jai White is the baby daddy, honey. He could get it. Okay, he could. He really could. But what has happened is that he did an interview with Vlad, okay? And on that interview, he said something that I thought was absolutely fascinating. Because he said that, you know, he was training to be a police officer, okay? But in that, he says that he was told that because of his IQ score, that they weren't gonna hire him because he placed too high. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get the damn the doo-wop. We just had it. But it's absolutely ridiculous. And I thought it was fascinating at the same time because basically they're saying he was too smart to be a police officer. And because of that, they wasn't going to hire him because they felt he would move on to something else. Okay. And that he would not want to be there. You know, in fact, they were saying that it takes they were saying a low level security, a low level intelligence rather, in order that they were looking for in order to be a police officer. And I thought that was just absolutely fantastically fascinating in such a horrifying way, because it wow, you know. And then it has you look at the people who are on the force. Now I forget where he's from because this is in the place where he was, but just in that statement alone, it puts us into a place of, damn, are you serious? You know, and in looking at it, how do we look at police officers, and do we look at their intelligence? Do we want them to be smart and this, that, and other? Do we want them to have some semblance of intelligence and things of that nature? How are we looking at it from a point of, this is who we have out here on these streets, especially when we have folks out here who are dealing with mental disorders and things of that nature? How does that work? Okay. How does that work? How does that work? I just don't know. And I'm trying to come across it because it was sent to me. And I'm hoping that this wasn't it. And it looks like it might have been. God damn it. See, now that I want to show y'all the clip, it is now saying, at least the one that I saw, it is saying that I can't share it. God damn it. Anywho, that there is that. Okay. What you say, Theo? Well, here in Detroit and in other states, they are debating on additional training, and they're looking for funding for the cops. It's nonsensical, in my opinion. Okay, now they're looking for funding for the cops, but the people are saying defund the police. Y'all know that whole defund the police shit I have problems with, because I don't think that's the right term. I don't think that you have to defund the police. I know where they're going and I know what they're saying, what they're supposedly saying. Okay, but at the same time, because they're saying it, honey, does not mean that that's the right thing to do, because it doesn't make sense to defund them when they have to be on top of everything. Okay, they have to be on top of, and they have to make sure that they have the basic materials needed to make everything copacetic. Listen, as cars changed and got faster and carrying on, you see they had to get newer police cars in order to keep up with the times. Y'all see what's out here on the streets as far as weapons are concerned. if these are the weapons, then hell, they got to buy weapons that's going to compete with the criminals. Okay. But here's the thing that I have a problem with too, because I've always been asking, what happened to the money? You know, when you hear all these drug raids and carrying on, and confiscating umpteen millions of dollars and carrying on, what happens to that money after they're done with the trial or whatever? Because, you know, you put it up for evidence, but then after the trial, where does that money go? Because it was confiscated, because it was illegal. So does that go into the general fund? Does that go into the fund that y'all use to set up sting operations or whatever? Where does that money go? Because y'all keep saying y'all ain't got none, but here, y'all collected all this motherfucking money from here. Okay, finders keepers. Ain't that what the thing is? After 30 days or whatever, especially on the conviction, the money was illegal. Or are y'all telling me that the criminals get the money back if they win the case? Because I don't know how that works. So y'all tell me how that works, honey. Tell me how that works. Okay? So we could get on this thing, because I really need to understand where this is going. You hear me? Okay. Okay, wait a minute. Daryl, what you saying, honey? This definitely wasn't investigated before they got to no not warrant. I fought the detectives, the policeman, and the judge. They did a wanton because it was a bullet that went in the white people's apartment. What about the bullet up apartment on BEOANNA herself? This is an investigation went bad. Of course it is, darling. Of course it is. Okay. You say I fought. I got you, baby. Okay. So, yeah. Exactly. So where does this go from here? Okay, because if Detroit is talking about something, looking and they're debating, what the fuck is the damn debate? What is the debate about training outside of the coin to do it? Because you got to pay somebody to do it, right? You got to pay the experts to come in to train and this, that, and other. Here's my thing here. Where are the former military children? Okay, the optic people that could go up in there. Did they set up their own businesses to do tactical training and carrying on? Huh? What about those who are former military police? Military police who could go in and that can make some shit happen. Okay, as far as training is concerned, as far as understanding what it is about hand-to-hand combat and carrying on. You know what I'm saying? Or have they not gone that particular route because a lot of them are dealing with PTSD and whatever, you know, and may get to, you know, there could be a number of issues with that. I'm just throwing it out there as options, because as somebody who sits down and think about this stuff, I'm like, okay, where are these particular kinds of people? Okay, to make this happen. How about the National Guards? They're military trained or whatever, and they usually are called in for special cases. How come that the training officers or whatever can't come down and do something as far as the local training for everybody to be uniformly trained? Or is that too much? Okay, am I thinking bigger than what this thing is because of money or because of clearances or whatever? What is that? You understand? You got the current administration that sat there and told everybody, hell, I can stop the rioters. All the governor's got to do is let me come on up in here. And we come up here with the National Guard, we could take this down like that. Ain't that what he said the other day? So if they can take it down like that, how come we don't have any of those kind of, even if you can't do the military training on exactly how you train it, I'm sure there's a watered down version that is just as effective for the streets. Because isn't that true? When you come out of the military, you got to go through some kind of debriefing, but they're not already trained you on what to do. So what is that? I'm just asking a question, honey, and trying to make sense of this. The money is, I was going to say monkey. The money is reallocated and goes into other operations. I used to ask Bill that about the monies, and that was his way of telling me you don't want to know. which means, yeah, other operations. It goes into their goddamn pockets for those who sit down there and want to play finders keepers. You know, but I know in Lost and Found, honey, after 30 days, child, I get to put my name on it and claim it, right? If the owners don't come back. How about that? Okay, other operations. So if it goes into other operations, it means y'all got money to do those damn things, right? So why the hell y'all keep talking about y'all broke? And see, here's the thing that we need to look at too. The state and stuff done gave these children $12 million, right? The state ain't got to pay for that. The state ain't gonna pay for that. You know why? That's what come out of our taxpayer dollars. Now, I don't live in Kentucky, but they're gonna pull that money from somewhere, and the taxpayers are gonna end up paying that for them. Because remember, we pay for the police department and stuff, right? So it's like we always tell them that's my tax money, pay your salary. Okay. We also pay for their fuck ups. So this $12 million that they gave, which is a slap in the face, number one, it was the setup for the okie doke. Because where have you heard that the settlement came in before the trial? Oh, wait a minute, that just hit me. Where have you ever heard that somebody got settlement money before there was even a fucking trial? Where have we heard that? So when I first heard it, I said, okay, this is okie doke. This is okie doke. This is smoke and mirrors all motherfucking day. And it got put. This is a political stunt, and as far as I'm concerned, it's on all levels. This is a political stunt on all levels. And my question is this: since it's good for the culture, those of you who believe that this current administration needs another 4 years, please tell me why. After all of this shit here, and we've seen the underhandedness of him fighting for re-election, what in all of this says that another 4 years is going to be worth it? Okay. What in this says that? Just in this alone, we ain't got to go over the shit that he's done over the 3 years, 3.5, almost 4 years. Just in this, from October 2019 until now, almost 365 days, just within the last year. What in this says that he has earned the right to another 4 years? What is it? I need to understand that. I really need to understand that. Okay? Wait a minute. U.S. taxpayers pay for everything. Oh, wow. Excellent question. They paid before the trial. Yes, they paid before the trial, child. Yes, they paid before the trial. Listen, the children have not been indicted. The indictment came down today. I mean, a couple of days ago. Was it yesterday? It was yesterday. Okay? The one child was indicted. Okay? They were arrested, but they just got indicted. Okay? Ain't no fucking trial. They had to pull the grand jury together to see if they was going to go to trial. No. Okay? And y'all settled. Now, there was something that said, and I wish I could pull it up. It was on Instagram. There was a comparison. It was a meme. It was a side-by-side. It was a white woman who was Well, she killed or something, injured. I think she was killed by a black officer. Okay. That family received $40 million. The black officer was arrested. He was sentenced. It was done so quickly. It was ridiculous. Now here we have Breonna, and the family's only given $12 million. Okay, 40 million to 12. And then only one officer was indicted, and they're not indicted for killing her. It's a whole separate do-why-diddy. So what do we have here, children? Huh? What do we have here? And how blatant can this particular episode be for us as persons of color, black and brown people, for our white allies who sit up there saying who fight against the system? Okay, and like this here is not the tea. This ain't tea at all. Okay. What does that say to everybody who is saying, okay, we could do better with our government? I love my country, but we could do better with our government, and our government could do better against its citizens. And when are we as people? When are we as people going to take back the mantra of we the people have the power? Okay, democracy, not Democrats. Democracy of our country is built on the people having the power. We put you in office. You work for us, and ain't the other motherfucking way around. Now, having said that, because of the police officers carrying on, we can't go up there and oh, nigga, you work for me. Because you still have to abide by the laws that we put the people in place to make. See? So it's a delicate balance. And one of the things that we have to do is learn how to fucking balance. We are so out of balance right now. It is ridiculous because we have allowed people to become power brokers and power hungry or power mongers. Okay, you got whoremongers and power mongers, and in some cases they one and the same. We have allowed them to take over, and because we blindly go into this shit, we don't realize our power. We don't realize it, and we've given it away. Or better yet, you know what? We've not even used it because a lot of us don't even know what it is. You understand? Let me go to the comments. I'm bring Red up in here. Red just came in. I keep stressing, take the bottom out, the top will fall out, but no vote. This is what happens. And let me reread that because I read that like I was dyslexic. I keep stressing, take the bottom out, the top will fall, but no vote. This is what happens. Okay, how about that? All right. Okay.
What's happening, bro?
What's up, baby?
What's up, baby? Sorry I'm late, people. I'm sorry. It don't mean I love you no less. I'm just out here trying to get myself to be my best. That's all.
All right. What's up, baby?
Hey, man, let me tell you something. I was listening to what you were saying and the subject that you was on, right?
Yeah.
Just so happened I just walked away from a situation not even 30 seconds ago where there was a group of people and they was kumbaya and had a camaraderie of brotherhood, but one of them was a Caucasian. And he was speaking of a famous rapper that he actually was an acquaintance with, right? And he came out his mouth. Now, this is what got me. Every time I asked people questions about what they were going to do about voting, and I educated two guys on the fact that they could vote. They were sitting there thinking they couldn't vote because of the felonies they had years ago. But I was trying to tell them, you're a resident of the state of Georgia, you can vote with that felony that you had.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they're sitting here not knowing that because, again, the government doesn't motherfucking put this information out.
Exactly.
But they don't put it out on purpose because we're missing 1 million votes on people that think they can't vote and they can.
Exactly.
But what got me is the white boy in the group. I'm gonna say white boy, okay? He said something about, I'm not gonna say the doggone rapper. He got enough fame and everything, but he was like, this particular rapper was his nigga.
Oh wow.
Oh wow. That's 11 black folks out here, one white boy.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. And when everything was going on, I let it slide because he didn't do the ER. It was his nigga, you know what I'm saying? And you can tell that he really don't care for white people, even though he's white. That's what he grew up around, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. And so I kind of just, I let it go on by. But there was a gentleman sitting next to me that couldn't answer none of my political questions about where he stood in this entire doggone race for the presidential doggone chair. But yet instead, he stopped everybody's conversation to check the white boy for saying nigga.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Oh.
How do you have energy to try to educate this white boy on when, where, how, and what not to do or say out his mouth when you don't even know who the fuck you voted for, and then you did not know that you had the right to vote until I taught you?
Come on now.
Come on now. So this is what I'm saying. This is why I've always said this, Meech, and you know this. We as a people, we need to stop standing for rap. Stop standing for the trap gods. Stop standing for all this hip-hop propaganda. Stop standing for the WAP. No pun intended. Stop standing for all that. Because guess what? You're not really standing. You're falling for the blind side. You are being hit from an angle. Do you not know that the FCC regulates and it lets a lot of things through that they know that's going to poison the Afro-American mind, that's going to take your mind off of what you need to be more focused on as a people? Did y'all know that?
Right. Okay.
Didn't nobody know that because the positive black messages get shunned, put on the shelf. They don't get signed off. They don't get approved. But they'll put the WAP video and all the WAP remixes in the world on every plateau, and they're not going to mute it out or nothing because they want you to know all the words and be blinded by the sexuality and the intimacy through the whole thing, because guess what? You're going to remember that.
Exactly.
But I'm going to ask you this, Meech. How many times have you seen the OJ's political commercial? Exactly. You get what I'm saying now?
What I say.
And that's the point I've been trying to make is you know, all this stuff, like you said earlier, we as a culture and everything. Don't say culture out your mouth if you don't know exactly where your grandparents came from.
Whoop, whoop.
And believe me, people don't look at Big Red Fella like he goddamn is angry. I'm not angry. I'm just a mixture of two major corporations. That's FedEx and UPS. I'm fed up. That's all the fuck it is. All right, I'm okay.
Wait. I put it on the back. I'm making a new
Big Red.
Hello, how you doing in the background there? But you get what I'm saying?
I'm doing good.
But all I'm trying to say is the fact. In fact, it doesn't matter where you stand politically. It matters that you do something about what you're standing up for.
How about that?
Okay, because your conversation does not doggone have anything to do with action. We can talk till we blue in the face, but what are you going to do? And for those that cannot actually realistically vote, that have lost their rights to vote, but you have not lost your right to drive. You have not lost your right to feed, protect. You have not lost your right to stand out there and give water out. You have not lost your right to walk up and down the streets to make sure the people that can vote are totally safe. Okay. You have not lost your rights, females that can't vote, that have done things in their life that they not fond of, but they put themselves in a position where their rights have been taken. That does not stop you. You still have the right to babysit the children of the women that can't leave because they got kids at home to go vote. Let them vote.
Okay.
In my LBGT community, I promise you, vote. I'm in Henry County voting. And so if any of the doggone alphabet kids are out of here and they feel unsafe about it, you look for Big Red Fella in the big truck. And I promise you, you can go to the polls when I go to the polls, because ain't shit shaking. I promise you that. Ain't nothing shaking.
Okay, how about that?
All right? Because I'm telling you right now, like I said, I ain't doggone FedEx and I ain't UPS. I'm fed up. And that's what the hell it is.
They're running on the bottom.
I'm just keeping it 100, Meech, because at the end of the day, I am so sick of motherfuckers running around here. You're 18 years old. You can say everything the doggone the baby can say out his mouth, but you can't tell me who's the running mate for doggone, you know what I'm saying, for Biden.
Okay.
You don't even know that.
Dominic's all of what big.
Thank you, Dominic. Thank you.
Okay.
Reach one, teach one. So whatever I'm talking about, people tell somebody else so they can tell somebody else. Because the more we keep this up, hey, I'll tell you something. The front train is pulling and the back train is pushing, and all the people in the middle that's doggone part of the train, they moving just because of that.
See.
All right? So ain't nothing wrong with being the caboose, as long as you're a part of the doggone situation. And when you're a part of the situation, you're a part of the resolution. Okay?
And what the folks, the caboose is damn the press.
Thank you. Ha! That way.
That way. Give it to me.
Well,
Okay. So those who have to pay, so they $20,000 for Florida, and they're trying to stop this. Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, he said Bloomberg. Really? Lord have mercy.
Did you know that they cut? Let me tell you something else, Meech. Let me tell you something else. I'm gonna tell you this right here is gonna make your jaw drop.
Okay.
You can check this. See, we don't never know what we are capable of, or the information that we can get to. That nobody can tell us we can't have.
How about that?
Did you know the day of the elections, all bus services in major cities have been cut in half? If they ran 100 buses, they only run in 50. Yeah. Did you know that day? I'm giving y'all some game. That day, all the doggone services like Uber, Lyft, and all that, the authorities have been informed to stop them and check their papers.
Are you kidding me?
You know I got inside folks.
Wait. See, that got me tingling over here. I'm tingling in my shoulders. And the reason why is because I want to start rocking, because see,
you forgot that the people, my people that's being told to do this are the ones that's telling me. I just can't never drop their name.
Get the fuck out of it. Okay, wait, that's just on it. How about that, Amy? Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? See, listen. Whoo! This motherfucker, y'all still ain't told me. Ain't nobody up in here said it yet. And
I got a question. Hey, Meech, I got a question. How many absentee ballots have you received in the mail?
You know what? I just got an application today
for another one.
For a ballot ballot application.
That's the second one.
Yeah.
So which one is the real one?
I have no clue, because I don't care for me. Because
I'm just telling you, and I'm telling the people, and I'm telling our watchers, do not do the absentee ballots, because they done sent out 2 to 3 different ones. And how do you know which one is the real one?
You know what? And which is why this fool keeps saying that it's gonna be rigged or whatever, and it ain't, and voting by mail ain't gonna be right.
And the reason to vote, hey, look, my father-in-law just retired today, 30 years post office.
Wow.
I'm not gonna drop his name, but the reason the mail has been screwed up for the last 45 days is because when he pulled that stunt with the post office and all that stuff went down, the mail sorting machines they were taken down and taken apart the way they were shipped and delivered to the place. Wow. So they've been sorting mail by hand, which doggone puts them behind 30 days all the time. Wow. Therefore, if you mail in an absentee ballot, if it's the right one, it may not never even make it on time.
Look at this bullshit here. Look at this bullshit here. We're voting in person, even considering the risk, taking no chances. You damn right.
Facts. I'm trying to explain to y'all. I got inside stuff. I keep me an inside person in every level of life because I don't trust the government.
At this particular point, you know what? And here's something that we need to look at. Here's something that I think is one of those silver linings in this damn dark ass cloud.
Uh-huh.
Because for years and years, the parties that be have been talking at us. We still got this whole big old thing. You know, we got this whole black revolution of trying to get black folks to become Republican again, right?
Uh-huh.
The Democrats that carried on, they have been doing a lot of promises. But only thing they've been doing is giving us programs to keep us dependent. Okay? And the programs are cute, but they are designed to fortify dependency. Okay?
That's because the political world and the medical world are the same. They don't fix you, they don't heal you, they only treat you. And anything that the government gives you and call it free, you're being treated, player.
You made me cover my camera. You made me black out my camera.
I'm just keeping it 100.
Listen. Oh. This here, we have allowed for these two-party systems to be that, to where the silver lining is that for all these years, our people, since is it good for the culture? Our people, and I'm talking blacks, all of my Caucasian listeners, I don't mean no disrespect to y'all. I want y'all to hear me when I say this, because you guys have said this all along, except that when you guys get on welfare or utilize the tools, you guys get to come in as a collective family if the father is still in the home.
All right.
As a matter of fact, you get to come in so much as a collective family to where the woman, it doesn't go in the woman's name, it goes in the man's name.
All right.
Okay? Here, we have been saying, and we have been trying to, we have been a proud people. Okay. And every time you heard of folks being on welfare, getting food stamps or whatever, it was an embarrassment. Okay. And we have been saying for years, don't take a government handout. That was on good times. I ain't on welfare. I work for a living, and etc. But now that we are here,
right,
and we're hearing that the government is fucked up and is not doing for us, it's making us, and it is forcing us to become self-sufficient in a lot of ways. Okay? It is, and if we don't get on board to where we redesign the village has become the villain. And we got to stop being the fucking villain.
Yep.
We got to reclaim the village because it takes all of us to do this. That there is applied economics, honey. That's applied economics. That there is Ujima. Okay, that's Ujima of the Kwanzaa principles.
Yep.
Okay, Ujamaa and Ujima, they go hand in hand. There's collective works and responsibilities and economic and cooperative economics.
Right.
It goes together. And we got to reclaim the village, children. That is one of the major solutions that we've got to do. We've got to listen. How many of y'all go down and y'all participate in co-ops, food co-ops, where you put your money in, and when they come, it's so much food to where you got some for you, everybody who paid in. But for those who didn't have the coin, because it's such an abundance, you're able to feed the hungry families too. Okay?
And the smart churches are the ones that do the co-op. They run it on the co-op level. Those are the smart churches. And I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm now this time I'm a name drop. Berean Christian Center in Stone Mountain, Fridays. Listen to me, people. On Fridays in Stone Mountain, Georgia, at Berean Christian Church. Okay. When I say when you're there between the hours of 2 o'clock and 4:30, all you have to do, you're gonna see a line of cars. Get in line. They're gonna give you an application. They're just gonna ask you about how many people in your household. You fill it out. When you get to the next person, you hand it to them. They got a runner that takes it. By the time you get around the whole thing and get to the front, they have already doggone pulled everything that you need for damn near a month of doggone groceries per car.
Okay.
And all they do is you pull up, they tap it, you pop the trunk, they put the whole box in your trunk, they close it, and you pull off.
See? Listen.
And they've been doing it right now for 45 days.
How about that? For all of you who are extreme coupon children.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Y'all got the stunt. Okay. And it does work. I'm not an extreme couponist, honey, but I've tried it. My mother has tried it. And when we went up in there and did what we did with the coupons, darling, child, trust me. My baby Darren Fleet is an extreme couponer. He did that on one of his lives. He showed you how to work the coupons. Okay? Listen, for those of you who are extreme couponers, this is your opportunity. You can help the churches build the food pantry.
Right.
Y'all this is our time for the village to reclaim its status and stop being the villain. When the villain rose up in the village and the villain took over, that's just the Joker running Gotham City. And not okay?
Look, let me tell you something. You remove the government from the house making any adolescent decisions in your household when it comes to your children. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. This goes out to single women. Whether you're on here or not, or you know a single mother and a single parent that raised kids, I'm going to tell you this. What you need to do is find the single guy that's got his stuff together, because quit blindsiding yourself thinking that not no black man got their stuff together. But that single black man that stays 2 or 3 doors down from you, he may not want you, but he is a positive influence on your child when you don't have a man in the home. He's a part of the village.
Listen. Let's go right there. Let's go there. Let's go there. There's supposed to be a Feel Good Friday, but I feel good in a different kind of way. Listen. One of the things that we all knew, and that there were single people, single mothers in particular.
Right.
Single mothers, especially when you have male children. If you didn't have a man in the house, you knew who in the community. You paid attention to your children to see who they looked up to, because we all had that cool. That one cat that was the cool.
Yeah, he was cool.
That one cat that was the cool in the hood. He had all the fly women. He was single. He was a bachelor. Had all the fly women had the fly. That just had a fly car. But may not have been the latest car, but he had the fly ass car. He was always shy. He was just cool. But he worked as well.
Right.
He wasn't no street thug. He wasn't somebody who was just laid out, making noise. He was somebody who was a positive influence. And when you pay attention to your children, you understand who are influencing your children. Okay, you understand that who is influencing the children. And so then you make partnerships. Not romantically,
right? It's not about that. It's about women. Pay attention to what's important, not for yourself, but for your children. Men, pay attention to what's important, not for yourself, but for your village. Be the kings that you were meant to be. Be the leaders that you were meant to be. and watch how everything falls into place in our communities.
Into place. Oh my God.
I was full-time military, living in military housing, where you come across single women that's in the military trying to make it, raising a damn child. And when I get home from work, I used to go walking in my neighborhood. And when I walk in my neighborhood, a lot of them kids, they come running up to me, Mr. Lavelle, how you doing? And this, and all that. They come up talking to me, and I'd be out there, and I'd be like, what you doing out here? And I see them doing something, and I'd be like, I sit down, and I'd be like, look, let me tell you something. What do you think your mother would say if she came outside and seen you doing that?
Okay.
And they'd be like, I said, she probably wouldn't like it. And they'd be like, no, sir. And I'm like, you know why I say she wouldn't like it? And they're like, no. I said, because I don't like it. And I said, I tell you what. I said, you tell me. Should I go tell your mom, or should you go put them rocks back in that lady's yard, or put them flowers back, or go explain to that lady what you did to her garden? This kind of stuff I used to see. And they go over there, and they'll tell the lady they sorry. And I tell the lady that you're going to come back and help her with a garden. You really apologize for what you did. And she do that. And then they'll do that. And then when they come around, I'll come back over there. I'll go out there with them while they go out there and just rake the lady grass or do something like that, whatever. But at the same time, they used to love me because I was raising puppies and stuff. And I say, I'll let you come down and help me with the dogs. Okay. And they loved it. They're right there. So there it is. So now the mothers would come down and they'd be like, oh, excuse me. And they're like, oh, my kids are always talking about different mothers. They're like, my kids are always talking about Mr. Lavelle, Mr. Lavelle. I said, oh, yeah, you live in such and such. I said, oh, you live in such and such. And the lady's looking at like, damn, he know where we live at. The kids looking up to him. You know what I'm saying? They're talking to him, but he never even came trying to wink and blow kisses. And I'm not trying to holler at you. It's just that this is my village here. Where I live at, it's a lot of men in here, but I don't see these men communicating with the doggone community. I don't see them interacting. So guess what I do? I make it my business at least 3 times a week to walk the neighborhood when I get off work.
How about that? Okay, how about that? Let's go to these comments. Amy says the government should always be taken at less than face value. Trustworthiness is not their strong suit. So no matter the party, once you reach Capitol Hill, you sold your soul to politics, not the people.
Ooh, wait.
Ooh, wait a minute. Oh, I got to read that last sentence again. Once you reached Capitol Hill, you sold your soul to politics, not the people.
Right.
Damn it. Oh, my God. Listen to me, children. Listen. Eric says, because the real party in charge is the 1% party. The people with the money pit these parties against each other. And we are often just pawns in the game. The whole system is broken and is in need of change. Well.
Okay, now, Meech, let me ask you this. You play chess?
Yeah.
Okay. The first line of defense in the first row up there?
That's the pawns.
That's us. We're expendable.
How about that? Right. And you see a 16 of them, honey. 16.
Right. Right. Yeah. Now we understand. Now you feel where I'm going with this, right? Huh? Now your second line of defense is the people that we appoint in the chairs, right? Because they're trying to protect the people behind them, which is royalty that's holding the money.
That's right. Come on, woo. Now my chess game ain't as strong as it ought to be, honey. But yeah.
But you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
No matter what it takes, you protect the queen.
Catch it. The queen bitch. So
I'm trying to tell y'all better pay attention to what's going on because you're a game piece that they don't mind knocking off.
Cause the game ain't over, honey, till you checkmate the queen, honey, not the king.
Not the king, the queen. Why? Because guess what? Everybody on the board came from her womb.
That's gonna be my new thing. Instead of going out, I'll just cover the camera. Okay, my sister said I'm upset about it, honey. Okay, I know, McKeith, I know. Okay, well, tomorrow SCOTUS is going to be a reckoning. She's gonna be separating a many of things to come. Hello, right? Okay, preach, brother. Pastor,
I see. Hey, Eric, good job on the show, man.
Right. What Dominic says? What? Wait a minute. I missed that. Our community has always been the pawns. Exactly.
Facts. Facts.
That is facts because hell, it's because you know what it is. We have allowed ourselves to be the game. We have allowed ourselves to be the game. And here's the one thing about it. And yes, we could use the chessboard as a metaphor. At the same time, honey, the song says the hunter get captured by the game, honey.
Right.
The song say the hunter gets captured by the game.
Hey, did you know this? Did you know if you was a rich white person living in a doggone 10-room mansion and you paying your bills every month on time, right? You're an upstanding citizen. But you just so happen to install a brand new business, a corporation, maybe a call center in your basement, which you need 30 computers in there, 30 people working, right?
Right.
And your power bill goddamn goes up about another $4,000 or $5,000 a month because of all the power, right? You get nothing but discounts and congratulations and thank you for being a great customer. Did you know if you was a black person living in a black neighborhood and you do the same business, they call the police on you
because they think you stole the lights. Yeah.
No, they think you growing marijuana or making a meth lab in your house.
Same difference. Yeah, same difference.
Why you gonna call the police on me? Where my coupons at? Where my discounts?
Pardon my indulgence. That's Otis Max line, honey. I'm stealing it, honey. Pardon my indulgence.
Right.
Okay.
I'm just saying, right now we living in a world where sensitivity is not judged by the knowledge of the person that is giving us any type of political leadership. Sensitivity is judged by every individual in the room, in the building, on the streets. You never know what the person next to you, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's skin is not the same thickness. So you can go, just like I told you that situation today. Everybody out there heard that boy, but but one person couldn't let it pass, and he called himself checking him. But to me, I'm not impressed by your checking because I feel like, hey, that could be doggone some type of ignorance that you carry within yourself. Because at the end of the day, when I ask you something that is really the most utmost important in today's world, you have no
knowledge, no answer, no knowledge, no nothing. Okay, no nothing. How about that?
So what are you doing? So what are you what are you fighting against something blindfolded? What are you, Daniel-san? What are you, Karate Kid? I mean, come on, what are you doing?
Okay. Wait a minute. How about this? Good news, Red. We'll be doing a special live version of my podcast sometime next week. Special guest and all. Stay tuned. Hashtag the beginning of the prophecy. Eric, you going live? Really? Okay. Listen. Eric and I are high school alums. We went back in Detroit. We both went to Cody High School at the same time. Eric, what did you graduate? I came out in '87. And he does Get Off My Lawn. Okay, you can listen to this podcast on Spotify. Eric, put your stuff up here so the folks will know how to follow you. But he's gonna go live. So, child, thank you,
Eric. I expect an invitation to your show.
Okay. Now he already know. Phase 3 here in Florida. Really, y'all? You know what? We're here in Atlanta. Keisha said that she's looking into starting phase 3, but she want to make sure that we're right. Right now, our numbers are suggesting that we're ready, but she's cautious with it. We ain't there yet, but we're looking into going into it. Yeah.
You tell Eric, you better pay attention. Y'all better be on your invite list.
Okay. Now here, because you came in, let me get your take because you said you was gonna wait till we came live. the whole idea of this slogan, honey, it's good for the culture.
Ah, ah.
Wait a minute.
I tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what's good for the culture. All right. What's good for the culture if you read something besides the label on a Heineken box? What's good for the culture?
Bitch, wait a minute. You don't work me. Don't you work me.
What's good for the culture is if you learn how to slide a damn ballot into a box instead of sliding a condom on your cock. What's good for the culture is when you learn how to stop eating fried food and start frying these crackers for doing all your doggone ancestors wrong. What's good for the culture is when you stop killing people in your neighborhood and start killing folks outside your neighborhood with kindness and education. Because guess what? What's good for the culture? You can get all the degrees in the world and you can fight them with all their knowledge against them because that's something they can never take from your black ass. So you better doggone wake the fuck up, people. Now that's what's good for the culture. I wish the fuck I hear another ignorant person say that out of their mouth. I'm gonna slap it out of them. The end.
It's good for the culture.
It's good for the culture.
Let's do it
for the culture. It's good for the culture. Half the motherfuckers that say they can't even spell culture. What the fuck is? I don't get this shit. I don't fucking. What the fuck? You know what's good for the culture? Okay, I'm gonna tell you what's good for the culture. It's a petri dish in the motherfucking science lab that's giving you the motherfucking cure to what the fuck we got going on in this pandemic. That's good for the culture. Okay. Now, I bet you don't know what kind of culture I was speaking on then, with your smart ass.
Look, okay, I'm gonna get stuck in a minute.
Right. Yeah. Now they're going, culture? Which culture is he talking about? Yeah, culture goes more than one way. Okay? Culture is a sample, fool. Okay, let me help you out. But guess what? You're a sample of what you should not be.
Did you go there?
Yes, I went there.
Did you go there?
I went there.
It's a sample. Oh, wait.
Me, you know how I feel about that bullshit, man. Listen.
Wait a minute, that just took me into a whole nother stratosphere. That just took me to a whole nother stratosphere about the culture. Oh my God! Wait a minute.
Oh my God!
What's good for the culture? Hey, you know what's good for the culture? Huh?
What? What?
What's good for the culture is when you start paying these motherfucking teachers more than you pay these judges. That's good for the culture.
Okay, you know what? I'm looking for my lasagna. I'm gonna start for the lasagna noodle, baby. I'm a big old fat lasagna noodle. I'll beat your ass with a lasagna noodle, damn it.
I'm just trying to say, because what's good for the culture is when you don't serve a person that walks in your restaurant with their pants around their fucking thighs. You put them out. That's good for the culture.
You know what?
Hey, I got something else that's good for the culture.
You're gonna make me on to the head, trying to be dignified and not drink from the bottle. But you're gonna
I'm just saying, what's good for the culture is some of you ladies need to start swallowing some of these bastards when you know they don't have a daddy.
Big Red. Did he say don't have a daddy? Stop swallowing these bastards when they don't have a daddy. And I'm gonna add on to that, if you don't know who the daddy is, because you probably got 15 niggas been up there.
Hey, here's one, ladies. This is what's good for the culture. If you know the only difference between you and this nigga in a relationship is $20, just take it up the ass and leave.
Ooh. How about that? Wait.
Big Red, I'm gonna ask you to go to bed.
I can't. My side hurt. You better preach. Come on, Dominic. Wait a minute. Girl say he fainted. I fainted. Baby, I got stuck. Girl, look, I got stuck. I just got stuck. It's a spitted animation.
I'm just saying, Meech, when you think about it, what's good for the culture is what happens from the beginning, right? Every alpha, every omega, right? Even though they say the Lord is the beginning and the end, but the beginning and the end to your situations is where you are created, right? And the way you are created is sometimes doggone exceeds your future. So here it is. What's good for the culture? Had your mama not had that doggone twist of fate that means it was a wet dream your daddy had and she rolled over in it. You understand what I'm saying?
Big Red.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. You is doing it over there. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm keeping it doggone 100. Okay.
Yeah, 100% real.
Hey, what's good? What's good for the culture is fellas, quit yelling, screaming, and calling my LGBT brothers and sisters out of their motherfucking name and goddamn calling them queer, sissy punks, and faggots and all that shit when it's all out of fear. Because guess what? The motherfucking problem that you really have with my brothers and sisters in the goddamn rainbow community is the fact that you motherfucking want to know what a dick tastes like or feel like up your ass. That's the fuck the problem is. If you don't like what I'm saying, who gonna check me? Who gonna check me? Who gonna check me?
Ouch.
So I tell you what, when you take a culture of your DNA and found out that there's more estrogen in it than testosterone, you call me so I can say bitch and hang up the phone.
Bitch, hang up the phone.
Listen, EJ said, I call people that walk with their pants down professional walkers. My God today, says Daryl. He said,
I call people that walk with their pants down billboards.
Listen, so do I. Advertisement, honey.
No, it's not advertisement. It's advertisement.
See there, same difference.
Advertisement.
Look.
Do you speak butt? Do you speak butt?
I do. I'm a linguist. My tongue works very well, honey. My tongue speaks well. Okay, a brand.
I'm just
Get the alcohol, child. I'm drinking this wine, child.
Look, man. Give me 10 minutes and I'll be right back, all right?
Okay.
All right.
Right, advertisement. Come on now. The cheering. Okay. Lord, the mothers of the church that are fainted, Big Red. Not the mothers of the church. Listen, they're not fainted because some of them used to be, honey. That's what it is. Oh, wait a minute. The cheering. The cheering child, honey. Listen. Oh, my God. Wait a minute. Dominic said, well, throw the whole damn phone away, honey. I'm waiting on Red to come back. If y'all stay with me, I'm trying to have a little bit of fun. This is supposed to be Feel Good Friday, but I'm feeling good in a couple other ways. Because Red just lit something up in me about that culture thing. Because, see, as we all know, I'm sorry, excuse me, but this wine is coming up and it wasn't doing right. I need a little bit of something. As y'all know, when you go into a lab, when you're doing testing and carrying on, a culture is just that. It is a sample. Okay? They get a little culture so that they can take the culture and run whatever test they need to run on the culture to see what is wrong with it, or if it's disease or anything, or if it's normal. Let's see. Now, depending on the culture, it depends on what they're going to create. Because remember, stem cells, honey, when they take a sample of the stem cells, that's the culture. And, you know, they look to take stem cells and do stem cell research, which is why it's controversial. I don't know. Well, I'm on the fence with it because there are times where it can be good, and there's times where you're looking to experiment on something that you have no business experimenting on. And that there is when they take the cultures and trying to make something, you know, and test a hypothesis or whatever, that's just real far-fetched, in my opinion. But I guess all hypotheses are far-fetched until it's proven one way or the other. But oftentimes, you know, like the placenta from the mother and the umbilical cord, when they cut the umbilical cord and all of that, they have to work on that immediately because those are fresh stem cells. And so they're able to take those back to the lab. So when they get it, they get a culture. So, okay, is it good for the culture? See, you see what I'm saying? You see how we don't just take and elevated this into something completely different than what it is supposedly intended for? Okay, so that's why if this is going to be a black thing that you just don't understand, I love that when we had that. If this is that, then we need to define and shape that mantra of do it for the culture or it's good for the culture. We need to shape that so that it becomes ours. And we don't sit down here and go through the notions and the motions and carry on of what it is, you know, so somebody could come in and usurp it and take it into a whole different direction and carry it on, honey. Wait a minute. Amy said, gotta go, y'all. Great conversation. Looking forward to the replay. Okay. Thank you, Amy, for coming in, my sister. I love it. How's the baby? And carrying on. I haven't seen you since you were pregnant and things of that nature, honey. Oh, my God. I love my people. I love my friends. Now, listen, let me tell y'all now. I'm feeling a little that way, honey. How? Y'all know I haven't drank in a little piece of a minute and things of that nature, honey. So, oh, my God. But this is a feel-good Friday, honey. How many of y'all remember the game Hands Up to 85? Huh? Don't remember that? Hands Up to 85. Going again. Names up. Y'all remember that? But when Red bring his ass back up in here, we're going to play a little bit of that. So I want you, she's almost a year old now. Is it that long for real? Girl, stop. Has it been? Oh, my God. Girl, bye. It's a shit. See you, baby. We'll see you on the next time. Amy got to go, y'all. Amy had to go because, hey, she got to take care of her baby. That's a mother doing her thing, honey. But she was up with us and carried on. I appreciate her greatly. Okay, good night, Amy, says Eric, honey. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay, but in the meantime, in between time, honey, let's get into something real fun, honey. Real fun. And I was told that we should do, listen, what was your favorite movie from the 70s? Okay, were you into blaxploitation? Were you into the other, you know, if the movies outside of blaxploitation like Jaws and Carrie and what was that? So, you know, put in the comments some of your good movies from the 70s. I was a blaxploitation bitch, honey. Listen, anything Pam Grier. Anything Pam Grier. When my parents were together, honey, my daddy made sure he took me there. Now, listen, I think I got this from my daddy because I am a titty man. But now, you know, being gay, I like thick guys, I like big guys, and I like big guys who got big titties. Natural. My trans sisters, I love you, but we sisters, honey. And that doesn't thrill me because you're women. But for my guys, yeah. So Pam Grier, honey, I'm sure she was just every boy's dream. And I got Pam Grier's book. I haven't read it yet. I got to get into it because I'm looking to invite her on the show. But I want to get into it because, you know, Richard Pryor dated her for a minute, honey. Richard Pryor got that, honey. You better understand. Ooh. But see, I want to get into the nastiness of it, honey. I want to know how big his dick was and shit, you know, that kind of thing, and if he could fuck, because that was the Pam was a quintessential beautiful bitch of the 70s. She was just it. She was a great body, all that. Now let me say this: my mother, being the dark-skinned sister that she is, and back in her day. I talk about this all the time because when she told me this, I was outdone. And what she told me was, my mother's a tall woman, honey. She's 5'11 and a half, 6 feet tall. And at the time, she was coming home from work, she says. And they were looking, she said a photographer came out and wanted to take pictures of her to send it in because they were looking for tall black women because they were casting for Cleopatra Jones. My mother did not believe that it was real. Okay? And her words were, she told me, yeah, right, they're going to cast a black Cleopatra. She said, about a year later, Tamara Dobson came out. And y'all know Cleopatra Jones is my shit. Okay, the first one and Cleopatra Jones and the Casino of Gold, honey. You better understand. And my mother was like, she didn't believe it and carrying on. And the thing of it is this. My mother, she didn't know the karate part of it, but my mother kicks ass like Cleopatra Jones did in the movie for real. Okay, she was a tomboy, and my mother fights like that. Okay. So, and on top of it, she had a crush on Bernie Casey, the lead man in the movie. So I was like, Mama, and now I'm an actor. I said, Mama, you could have done this, girl. You could have done this, girl. You know? However, she didn't. And when it came out, she said she got all the details on her and carrying on. And she and Tamara were the same height. Okay? Same height. But my mother I felt better looking. And my mother was Tamara Dobson height with Pam Grier's body. Catch it. Mm-hmm. Yes, my mother. Ooh, baby. So yeah, that was the thing. So for those of y'all who know the movies, what was your favorite? Okay, you said Pam Grier and Rudy Ray Moore. Now speaking of Rudy Ray, did you watch Dolomite with what's the name? Dolomite is my name. What's the Eddie Murphy one that's on Netflix? Did you see that? That there is one of my mantras. Every time I watch it, I cry. Because I see this man was a self-made man. And he did everything on his own, you know, creating himself, creating who Dolomite was. And Dolomite was a caricature because Rudy Ray Moore was gay in real life. And they kept that under wraps. Catch it. But Dolomite was the motherfucker. Okay. Somebody that he made up and invented. Can you stand it? Every time, I swear, that's one of the movies that I watch in the whole mantra of getting me together and let me know that I'm on the right path of this, that, and the other, and that it's not going to be easy. It's going to be some hard times. There's going to be some knocks. There's going to be some bumps. You may have to stop, okay, and carrying on. You understand? You understand. What you say, Eddie Murphy was outstanding, wasn't he? But I'm going to tell you who the breakout artist was. Because we knew Eddie was going to do his motherfucking thing. The breakout was the bitch that played Lady B. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. That role, if it had been done before Monique lost weight, that role would have been Monique's. Or should have been Monique's. I'm going to put it that way. Really? Because Monique could have handled that all motherfucker. Because that was her. The way her lady, in fact, I'm wondering if Monique studied Lady B because shit, the way how that was. But wait a minute, let me put it this way. I will put it the other way around. Let me see if the girl who played, what's her name? I can't think of her name. The girl who played Lady B in the movie. Her name started with a D. It was Delphina something. I can't think of her name. I wonder if she's a Monique fan because a lot of what she did, I could see Monique doing. You know, and she personalized it or whatever. But I'm telling you, that there was but she was the breakout star. The girl who played Lady B was the motherfucking breakout star. Pardon my indulgence, children. Hey, Otis, this is you, honey. I have to say that every time because that's his line. And I don't want to take credit for his line. but it's a cute line. So yeah, so that there was that. But do y'all remember the movie, the original movie called Sugar Hill?
I do.
Huh? Y'all remember that movie? The lady's name in that was Vonette McKee, not Lynette McGee. Wait a minute. No, it's Lynette McKee and Vonette McGee. That's what it is. It's McGee. And she was a light-skinned sister like Lynette. And that movie was about the girl who was in love and carrying on. And the white man came in and killed her boyfriend. And she went to her auntie. And she went into the dark magic and pulled up the demons and stuff. And they went and she conjured up this shit, honey. And every time she's going to get revenge on Whitey. Down with you, Whitey. I love that shit. And she sat up there and she made a deal or whatever and carrying on, and she made sure she got everybody who was responsible for killing her husband. And then when it was all said and done, whatever the payment was the payment, and she blessed them on their way. Y'all remember that movie? That movie is my shit. Okay.
Well, my favorite movie is Sparkle from 1976.
Now, Sparkle?
Irene Cara and Lynette McGee.
This y'all said Sparkle had a sparkle. The original. Now, I love the remake, too. The remake was motherfucking wonderful.
To me, it was horrible. The only thing I liked about the remake was Whitney Houston.
You didn't like the remake? I thought the remake was sickening.
They took away from the original Satin Struggles. Satin Struggles didn't get killed in the original one. He got beat. And he was so embarrassed by getting beat by Michael something. Michael Thomas. He left.
Right.
Now, this one, it was too much of a comedy. I felt like it was a comedy act. Because all you did just whatever this boy named kept being funny and cracking jokes. Now, what I did like in the movie, when he jumped on them sisters, and them sisters attacked his ass.
Okay, you're talking about Mike Epps. Mike Epps is a comedian, so they made it.
But I don't. If you really sit and watch the old original, and I was watching this at 5 years old in kindergarten, and second grade, third grade. And if you notice, you look at that movie and watch how your sister died. She was breathing in that casket. That's what you call a movie back in the day, because she was like, look, here she go. And she was trying to laugh, and she was so sturdy in that casket. And the singing was real. Another favorite movie of mine, Black Flag, with Johnny Taylor in it.
Oh,
I seen that growing up with my mom watching that.
This child said, bring me in. Damn it, I'm here. I did. Shit, I did. You in.
Hey, first off, tell goddamn Ebert and Cisco over there chill that bullshit out, okay? Because the second one was fabulous.
Okay. I have to give you a prop to certain. I'm gonna be honest.
It was lovely for me because what they did was they brought it up to date. They made it relatable. And even though some of the changes that they had done in the movie were artistic changes, it worked for today's times. And then in some of the backstory, like when sister died in the first one, but in this one, like the girl who plays sister, what her name is start with an emoji or something. I can't think of her name. She said that what she did was, because prison, she went away for life for killing him. She gave up her life so that sister could go, so that little thing could go on.
Tachiki or something.
Chica something.
She went to doctorate school.
Right. So she gave up her life so that they could go on because she got strung out on them damn drugs and shit, honey. And carrying on. So, she made her choices, but she wanted to see her sisters move forward. And that's genuine love, honey. You can't fuck with the love that she had for her sisters. So, honey, that was some genius work there. But that is the blaxploitation stuff, honey. Now, James
Pittman, another favorite movie.
Who?
James Pittman.
Yes, of course.
What's her name? Cicely Tyson.
Cicely Tyson and James Pittman, honey. Yes.
Oh, another one.
Wait a minute. Sounder, honey. And cornbread Earl and motherfucking me.
What's the other one?
You and wait a minute. What about a hero ain't nothing but a sandwich?
What about this movie? It was a white movie, but it became my favorite. How the girl treated her mother. And
Carrie?
No.
But that was the shit.
Here you go. Soon will be done.
You talking about Imitation of Life?
Yes, that was a good one too.
Imitation of Life,
The
baby.
original one.
Hey, do you have a copy of Coffee?
Of course. Listen, now listen. I have damn near everything Pam Grier ever done. You understand me? Over here at 39.6, we have Blaxploitation Night. Okay, and I haven't had one in a minute.
Let's have one tomorrow night.
Haven't had one in a minute, damn it. But I will sit down here and do Blaxploitation Night where it is nothing but Pam Grier. I got all the Dolomite shit.
You got all the Dolomite? Somebody stole my whole Dolomite collection, bro.
Baby, I got the box set over here. Yes, I do. Yes, the fuck I do.
Bruh, it was a store that I went to in Virginia, and they used to get one Dolomite movie on their rack every couple of months. And the lady called me when it came in when she seen, I talked to her about it. So every time she opened up the box to put them on the rack, she leave that one on this thing and call me, and I go get it. So I had all of them.
Wait a minute. Eric said, don't forget about Bustin' Loose. You better understand Bustin' Loose, child. With Roberta Flack with everything, baby. Wait a minute. And then there was Bustin' Loose. Which way is motherfucking up, honey?
Let's do it again.
Take it back a little bit further. Not JoJo Dancer, but what's the movie Richard Pryor played in when he dated Debbie Allen?
That's JoJo Dancer.
Yeah, JoJo Dancer. That was a good one.
Listen, let me tell you something about
how you set yourself on fire.
Wait a minute. Because see, you have not lived, baby.
We're naming all movies now.
Until y'all have, okay. Wait a minute. Eric said, damn, means I need to beam to your house. You better come on. I'm telling you. Listen, I am telling you the truth. I have Blaxploitation Night up in here. But I'm going to tell you one to one, you have not lived until you sit down there and watch Lieutenant Uhura, honey, and fucking Ike Turner, bitch. When she sit down there and tell that bitch, shut the fuck up, bitch. Now you listen to me. Y'all gonna get out here and shake your ass like you mean something, because damn it, we got money to sell. You over there, you better take that makeup off and go over there and look pretty, god damn it. When she sat down there and did that motherfucking bullshit, baby, I am telling you, oh wait, no you didn't. No you didn't. No you didn't. No you didn't go to Big Percy. You too big motherfucking Percy. And of course the Mac.
Hey. You ain't nothing but a car thief. Nigga, you was a rest haven for hoes. Hey! He said, you know how the game go, Pretty Tony. Your bitch chose me. Nope.
That's it. Now we could get into some gangster shit if you want to. We can get into some gangster shit. Baby, that was the motherfucking line right there.
Richard Pryor line was this. He said, hold on, nigga, do you want to die? He said, what?
Wait. Here we go. You got to believe in something.
Car wash, Pointer Sisters.
Believe in me. Ha! Yes! Ha! You better. You always talking about the world we live in. Just stop. Take a look at yourself. Don't ridicule everybody else. Ow!
Yeah.
Come on. Car wash. And that motherfucking movie was out there, okay? That motherfucking movie was out there.
Hey, remember Richard Pryor when he was rolling off? He said like this. He was like,
okay, baby, Listen to me very carefully. And then, of course, there was Superfly. Because the soundtrack, we had the movie where the soundtrack sold the movie.
Right.
Okay, with the
Curtis Mayfield.
Curtis motherfucking Mayfield. Freddie's dead.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah. Oh, mother, I'm your daddy. I'm your sister in the alley. I'm your pusher man.
I'm your pusher man. Yes, that was the shit. When I was in Virginia, I used to have the same nights he talking about, black exploitation film nights, and everybody come over, and we do popcorn and snacks and food, and goddamn play them move. Nigga, you don't have a blackaholic shirt.
Blackaholic, baby.
You son of a bitch. You got some shirt.
Black a motherfucking holic, okay? Blackaholic. Yeah.
You see what it says? Hold it up again.
It's a noun, honey.
That's right. It's a noun. It says an addictive personality for life-defying, intelligent, what? Come on.
Innovative, loving race of people.
You a blackaholic now?
I'm a blackaholic, honey.
I'm a blackaholic.
I'm a blackaholic, honey.
What's a blackaholic? Okay, break it down again, me. She didn't hear you.
Okay, a blackaholic is, let me give you the definition.
There it is right there. Boom. It's an addictive personality for life-defying, intelligent, innovative, loving race of people.
There you go.
I'm a holic, you a holic. Wouldn't you like to be a holic too?
Be a holic, be a blackaholic. Oh yeah, be a holic, be a holic, be a blackaholic. Oh yeah.
Some all black company came out. They got t-shirts, hoodies, all that stuff with black. She said she hoodie.
Okay, I'm gonna send y'all the link.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, let me make sure that is right. Because I was at work, incidentally, and the sister came through with the hoodie, and I saw the blackaholic. I said, "Oh, girl, wait a minute, come here, let me read your shirt." And I read it. I said, "That is too cute." She said her husband is doing the clothing. This is his line. And I said, "Really?" She said, "Yes." I said, "I support everything black, honey." I said, "I am intentionally on purpose buying black." Okay. And then y'all saw I had the shirt on the other day that said "Black Money." That's my nephew.
Right.
His website. So now this here is Blackaholic, honey. Listen, I'm telling y'all, honey, this is a beautiful COVID. If y'all ain't getting nothing out of this, please understand that this is a time for us as black folks, even as white folks or whatever, come and embrace your culture since it's good for the culture. Let's embrace your culture. Embrace it. Define what it is. Let us understand what it is. Stop letting everything else be the fucking narrative. We are not the stereotypes. The stereotypes exist, of course, but we are not them. We are much bigger than that. So this is what it is, child. That's why we talk about blaxploitation movies and the movies from the 70s. But let's look at that. Because see, what had happened, and I love because Pam Grier said this on an interview. And she said, well, her definition of blaxploitation was, it was at a time where we as black folks were able to get our voices out there in a time where they didn't want to hear us.
That's because guess what? We wasn't worried back then about being free in the club before 11 o'clock, but we was knowing that we will be free before the 11th month if we got out and done something about it.
And I sip. I need to turn this into a Long Island iced tea, honey, because y'all trying to go into the tea time, honey.
You got to excuse me. I am a little politically parched.
Not politically parched. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. He just said he got a question. I got a question for both of y'all. I came across a pastor talking bad about LGBT. What's y'all wisdom on this? Okay, did you really want to know mine?
I'll go first because yours I know.
I'm gonna give you the camera. Take it. Wait a minute. Let me come out here. Go.
All right. I want y'all to gather around the congregation today. We're going to have a conversation about the Rainbow Coalition. And we're not talking about the one that Jesse Jackson suspect. Jesse Jackson is running from, running around, running up in, whatever he's doing behind closed doors at hotels late at night when he's getting caught by his wife. What we're going to talk about is the fact that a lot of pastors preach against this because of passages in the Bible, but they don't read the entire. It's like if you don't read the whole verse or the whole book in the Bible, then you won't get an understanding of the verses that you're speaking on, because homosexuality has been around before all of that, and it really at the time it wasn't that, it was just plain out love. I mean, you got to think about it. Even pedophilia had never even had a label when they had kings putting babies on their feet to keep them warm. They were called foot warmers, bed warmers. Send me 2 bed warmers, and they send you 2 little young boys to your bed, and you're a king, grown-ass man. All this stuff that doggone became the horrific way of life in the Christian world. But I have a question for you. Christian, Catholic, Bible, biblical. Shun, transfer. You do the math.
Well.
If I'm the Pope and I decide to put my Pope in your Pope, you just transfer me to another place where they got new fresh Pope.
If I put my Pope in your poop, okay, well, okay.
Yeah, he's a poopaholic. That's the Pope.
You caught me just before I took a sip, so I was able to not choke.
Did you fondle that young boy? Yes, I did. Sign here and here. We got you a new church.
Right. Exactly.
You Black Baptists, did you doggone mess with them boys and buy them nice cars and everything? God rest his soul. Y'all know who I'm talking about. He ain't short, he long. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? Did you? But did you do all that? Bad guy. Bad guy with the King James Version. Bad guy. Well, if y'all don't kill yourself with that bullshit.
So, listen. Okay, EJ, here's my take on it, because I am LGBT. Same gender loving, part of the Black alphabet cheering.
Did he say gender loving? Write it down, clowns.
Yeah, same gender loving.
Okay, all right.
SGL.
Congratulations.
Right, I'm SGL. Okay, right. Congratulations, mother and father. You have an SGL.
You have an SGL?
Okay. My whole take is this, and that there is traditional children are going to do traditional things because they refuse to think outside of the box.
All right.
You know God for
outside of the box, like where we came from, inside of the box. Oh, my bad.
Listen, because you came outside of the box. When you came, it was outside, honey, wasn't it? Oh, anyway.
But he came inside the box for me to come outside the box.
Exactly, because you had to go in to come out.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I felt that vibe. Like, okay, you got that vibe. You got that.
Okay, back to EJ.
But what it is that traditional children are going to do what traditional children do, and that is regurgitate scripture, regurgitate religious teachings, regurgitate what they've been told from their grandmama's grandmama. Okay. So because of that, what we have is a lineage of people who disagree with, despise, dispel, and carry on. You being from the islands, I'm sure that your culture is a little bit more intensified because islanders have seen that, and so have Black folks here. But islanders, This is what y'all fought against because y'all saw the predators coming over and using homosexual sex as a means to debunk and emasculate the men.
He said debunk. Go ahead. Go. Come back.
And also during slavery times, in order to keep the men in check, a lot of the men were raped in front of their wives and children.
Exactly.
So by massa, not by the females. Okay, even though the females raped them too, that's become a lot of women who end up having biracial children. They got shunned, they were thrown away or whatever. It was okay for the slave, the men, to have sex with the black women and rape them and carrying on because they were the ones carrying the child. Okay. But when white women were sitting up there having sex with the black men, it became a problem. So a lot of the time they were being raped. Black men were being raped in front of their wives and children to keep them in order. And also to humiliate them, to take away their masculinity and carrying on. Because now what happens is, once that is done, then the other men of the camp, if you try to boss up or whatever, it became this whole thing. How in the hell are you going to boss up on me, but you couldn't get up off master? See, master. So a lot of that is regurgitated, okay? Not knowing that or not accepting the fact that all gay folks are born this way, okay? Now, there are some who find out that along the lines that they've had an experience and they found out that they liked it and they you understanding? But the whole idea of what gay is more than just sex. It is attraction, because you can't help who you are attracted to. You can only respond to your feelings. Okay, you can't help how you feel, but you can help how you respond. And nobody is choosing to be gay. What the choice becomes is I'm living in my truth because I'm tired of being in turmoil. I'm tired of fighting myself. I'm tired of fighting myself and the world. And I have to accept something that I cannot change, because if it was something I could have changed, I would have. And just because I sleep with a woman don't make me automatically straight when I'm with her and I'm lusting after another man. That doesn't make me straight. And trust me, ask me how I know. Okay. So those are the things that we have to deal with in that particular caliber. And it takes you, if there's something that you're questioning, or you know somebody who is questioning and carrying on because of the church element of carrying on, you have got to come to the grips where you can say to yourself, God and I are one. I am created in the image of God. When I look in the mirror, that is God looking back at me. And here's another thing that I tell everybody who deals with the church. If you tell me that God knew me before I was born and know every hair on my head, then God knows all about me. So that means when I came out the womb, God knew I was going to be a finger-snapping queen, honey, or a masculine, car-fixing, football playing, okay, beer drinking, okay, gay dude who likes other men. If you telling me that God knew that before I was born, then you have nothing to say when I'm walking the streets.
Well, and you heard it right here today.
How about that? Okay, so that's my take. So let me go to the comments. From the research department, Divine Joy Randolph played Lady Reed in the Rudy Ray Moore biopic. Thank you, darling. Okay, one more Black exploitation classic. Truck Turner, starring Isaac Hayes. Shaft, of course, all of the Shaft.
All that.
I'm on the black hand side. You better know it, honey.
Damn, and of course, hey, Cooley High.
Let me tell you something about Cochise.
Cochise.
You better understand about Cochise. Oh, I cry every time they sit up there and beat Cochise's ass at the end of that motherfucking movie.
They killed that baby.
Hold
up, bitch. Wait a minute. You forgot about Cornbread.
Cornbread Earl and me?
Yeah, because you forgot about Claudine.
Bitch, motherfucker.
Oh, shit.
Motherfucking Claudine. Keep away from the welfare man, honey. He's fraud.
Hey, what movie is this, Mitch?
What?
Do you want my arm to fall off?
You better give me Lady Sings the motherfucking blues. No. Don't you Ross me. Don't you motherfucking Ross me. Don't you motherfucking Ross me, straight man. Listen, heterosexual. Don't you Ross me.
Yes, sir.
Don't you Ross me.
Okay, what about this one? Mahogany.
Well, wait a minute. Technically, you Billy D. Williams to me, honey. Okay.
Rinse it out, and it's gonna with ice.
What about mahogany?
Miss Mahogany, do you know where the fuck you going to, honey? He said one penitentiary. Now let me tell you something about Leon Isaac Kennedy.
Oh shit.
Let me tell you something about Leon Isaac motherfucking Kennedy, honey.
Too sweet.
Too
sweet. Too sweet. Too sweet.
Tell you something about Leon Isaac motherfucking Kennedy, who was married to the second baddest bitch that was Jane Kennedy of the 70s.
That I had the pleasure of flying on a flight on Delta with and conversing and sitting right next to her.
No.
Yes, I was able to meet her on a personal basis. It was just the only two people in first class was me and her.
You know what? I would love to. I'm gonna put that out there.
Back then, she was just as bad as the magazine. And she was just the sweetest doggone celebrity I ever met. She just talked her little heart out and just told me all her little personal business. You know what I'm saying? And I just sat there like, wow.
Motherfucking Kennedy.
Yes, sir.
The first black female sports commentator, model, extraordinaire, honey. It was Jane Kennedy and motherfucking Pam Grier that ruled the baddest bitches of the 70s back in the day. Black women. Because everybody else was on to Farrah Fawcett. And who was the other girl they were into? No, I can't forget Lola Falana. I can't.
Oh, yeah.
Motherfucking Lola Falana.
Lola was a bad.
Lola Falana.
That was my granddaddy lady, yeah.
Lola motherfucking.
That was his big guy. Hey, look what Eric put up.
He said motherfucking black belt goddamn Jones.
Black belt Jones.
Chocolate woman, you lucky bastard. Okay. Suzanne Summer was thank you. Okay, right.
Yeah, she was.
Suzanne
Matter of fact, I was living in a black neighborhood at this one part of my life, and over my bed was Suzanne Summers in a pink bikini.
And that pink bikini. All right, because she had the had the red one. Yeah.
Right. I had that dog.
Yeah. Listen.
And then I grew up to be allergic to white women. Isn't that crazy?
But here's the thing. That was the conditioning. Because remember, we didn't have a lot of women. Our women were not that way. And then now, though the women, I gravitated to women because I admired the prowess of women. Okay, because they were always much smarter than men, except for the ditzy blondes. Okay. Right. And then back in the day, that's what that was. What you say, her and George DeWitt could get it back there, Eric.
Hey, Eric. Hey, I'm rolling with you. I used to think Joyce was Stan, what's happening, man?
Okay. Listen. Now I'm gonna tell y'all. Now see, now wait a minute. Don't. Now listen. Now we ain't gonna talk about who could get it because y'all don't want me to start talking. Okay. Because, darling, I had a number of husbands back in the day. Okay, I had a number of them, darling. I had a number of them before we were saying they were my husbands. Okay. So the whole idea, back in the day, let's see, who else? Because now let's go here because see, I'm gonna talk about the brothers for a second. Because the sisters, when they were together, And this is one of the reasons why I hate the term metrosexual. And I know we've said this in another show before, but I hate the term metrosexual because There's nothing metro about it. How the metropolitan about a man taking care of himself. There's nothing metropolitan about a man, you know, cleaning up and grooming himself. Shit, we as black folks been doing that all the goddamn time. Okay. And that there was that. I mean, shit. When we got ready, that's why we call them glad rags and shit, because you know we went to work all day. You saw the work clothes, but when we were trying to take your lady out or whatever, you got clean. How you went? Remember when we used to go to the shop? You got the blowout done. You got okay. With those when we were wearing afros, you got the blowout done, got your line and carrying on. And men were getting manicures and stuff back in the day. It wasn't just pimps doing it because you had to get all that grease and stuff out because you were taking your lady out. Y'all heard me say this before about that, but with lava soap. Lava soap was a man's soap. It was geared toward men because it was about taking all the grease and the grime off your hands. That wasn't a woman's soap. Dove and Caress and Tone were all geared towards women, but lava was geared towards men and your hands to get all that, get your calluses off and all that jazz. So that's what that was. So men were able to clean up and go out and looking spiffy and carrying on and this, that, and the other. So I still hate the term metrosexual, honey. Okay. What's the hell up in Harlem? But listen, let me tell you something about Fred Williamson, honey, because it was more than hell up in Harlem, honey. Ah, okay. Yes, God. Okay. 70s black exploitation movies, the topic. What you got, Stan? Okay, what we got? How about that hot comb? Let me tell you about that hot comb. That's a bergamot grease. Okay. In the green or the red can, honey, depending on what you had to taste for. Because I think the green one was a little medicated. Okay, remember when they had medicated grease and all that kind of shit?
Yeah, it was called Sulfur 8.
Sulfur motherfucking 8. Ha! You better give it to me. Stan said we were poor. We had that yellow brick lasso. Oh, you remember that yellow brick lasso? Oh my God.
No, thank you.
Okay, lie. Remember that? And remember how
that lasso will burn the dirt off you. You're going to get on you tomorrow.
B, you better understand what I'm trying to told you. Because remember, that was one of the first soaps that we had that had the skull and crossbones on it.
Yeah, I was
down there and you trying to make sure.
Hey, look at Stan put up.
I know. Listen, he said Cleopatra Jones shout at the motherfucking hardware. Let me Stan. Listen. You missed this time. I'm telling it again because I like telling this story because my mother had an opportunity to be Cleopatra Jones, but she didn't believe it, so she didn't take the pictures.
Oh.
Okay, because my mother is 5'11" and a half and 6'2" in she and Tamara Dobson was the same height, same everything. But my mother looked better than Tamara Dobson as far as I was concerned, and also my mother had Pam Grier's body. With a bigger ass. Right. And
hi, son.
And listen, that's what my daddy said there, because my dad said she got them legs. My mother was just a tall woman. And then she was the second tallest in school, she said. She said it was one girl that was taller than her, and then both of them were on the basketball team. And then the other girl was light skinned, so it was that light skin, dark skin thing, yeah. But she also said that she did not believe it, so she didn't take the pictures. And so a year later was when the movie had come out, and she was feeling a little bit that way about it. And so she said, I learned everything there is to know about her. But then also, they had to train Tamara Dobson about, the karate and shit because she had to learn it. But my mama kicks ass like that on a regular basis. So,
but you know what? When we grow up, one thing about that, Meech, let me tell you something. It's a valid point that, and it's a valid lesson that people can get out of that.
one thing about when we grew up in the Black community, we don't know about these opportunities that are afforded to us because we don't believe in the miracle of life sometimes.
Right.
And if you really stop back and look at your life, every one of us that have tried to do something with our life have been in positions to do something better, but we didn't believe that it was what it was.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell you, you're looking at a person, you're working with a person right now and looking at a person that had opportunity to spend only $2,500 to be one of the first stockholders of Sprint.
Wow.
But here he is. I said, wireless phone, fuck out of here.
Right. Yeah.
I said, get the fuck out of here. And I was in a room of 50 people, and I think 10 people out of that 50 in that room invested that $2,500.
Oh, yeah.
You know what the fuck they doing now?
Right. They on vacation.
For life. But here it is. It became Sprint, you know. They didn't name it then, but when it came back out, it was Sprint, and it was like they went through the roof. Guess who's coming to dinner? That was my shit right there.
And listen, let me tell you something. Call me Mr. Tibbs, honey. They call me Mr. Tibbs.
Adios, amigos. Wow, I forgot all about that shit.
You better come on, Eric. Okay.
That was that shit.
Now, see, you were there with James Brown and carried on because I'm going to say this, and that there was the Blues Brothers, honey. That came out in the 80s.
Yep.
But that was still the shit, though, because although the white boys got all, you know, they were the stars, honey, the black children that made that movie, honey. Aretha and James and Shaka. Okay. I knew you were going to say that. I knew. Stan, I knew your ass was going to say that shit.
Uptown Saturday Night. Yes, sir.
Fucking Saturday Night. Let me tell you about Uptown Saturday Night, honey, because that there is when we got introduced to Miss Shirley Ralph. Or was it, wait a minute, was it that or was it? No, it was Uptown Saturday Night because Piece of the Action was another movie. Okay. Uptown Saturday Night.
Yep, I've seen that several times.
Okay. Oh, y'all better understand, child. Understand, overstand, outerstand, honey, about what it is. Yeah, stand, honey, standing, honey, stand, outerstand. Okay, the Black Godfather now. Okay, now you know what? See, y'all playing. Y'all motherfucking playing with me. Okay, y'all playing with me, and y'all. Okay, I'm trying not to go to this damn TV because see, because I won't get through it tonight. But I know I have a black exploitation part in a minute.
I'm talking about when you put it to your nose.
But that's what that is. So listen.
Are you clean?
Hey, how? That's the original diva, Lena Horne, honey. Lena Horne.
Believe in yourself right from the start.
Wait. He went Eartha Kitt. You went listen, Eartha Kitt. Yeah, Julie Newmar is known to be the Catwoman, honey.
I guess
Eartha Kitt was the. Okay, that's.
I like asparagus and beet juice. It keeps the skin tight.
Okay. Listen. When she was in that goddamn movie with Pam Grier, Friday Foster, and she played the damn the fashion designer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hell no, Eartha Kitt will always be Catwoman. You better understand. Come on, Stan. Always be Catwoman.
Always, you're right.
Always. So yes.
Hey, who played Batgirl on the TV series?
Her name was Yvonne Craig. Yvonne Craig, honey. Now listen, let me tell you something.
Woo!
We're gonna go here. We're gonna go here because this here, yes, I am a gay man. But what I never paid attention to this commercial. This boy got thighs. It's some commercial about them doing it's a Snickers commercial. And I guess he thought that they were going to be doing a virtual conference and everybody was doing
right. Yeah. That boy got thighs, honey. I wasn't ready.
Help him.
What do you want?
I set up, and all of the superheroes, of course, we gravitated to because they were superheroes. But like I said earlier, one of the things about the female superheroes and the female counterparts, if you will, but they always came out smarter.
Where you at?
You know, they were strong, they were smart, they were beautiful. They came in and kicked ass, and then they went on about their business. Batgirl will come up in that motherfucker, honey. Her daddy was the commissioner. Barbara Gordon, honey, was the motherfucking commissioner, the commissioner's daughter. And so all the tea. Barbara Gordon would get all the motherfucking tea. Okay. Go make a quick switch to Batgirl. That's why I get my Batgirl chain. What did you say? I got to make a Batgirl chain. That's where I get that from. She make a quick switch to Batgirl. Get on that motherfucking cute ass Batgirl cycle. Go kick ass and kick the shit out the motherfucking demons, honey, and all the bad, and then leave. Okay, that bitch would have kicked ass and left, honey. She didn't have to. She didn't sit down and ask questions or whatever. What? Because she knew the answers already, bitch. No. Okay, and then she come back as Barbara, be like, "Oh, but Batman, you did a wonderful job, darling."
But you know what's crazy is how her character always, it was like always like you look for those episodes where Batgirl gonna be in.
That's because the cartoon opening was always the tea. Whenever she came swinging in, honey, on that rope, kicking, we knew she was gonna be in it. And I always look for that child. Those are my shits. And I always liked it when Batman and Robin were always fighting together. There was something cute about it.
You just stand crazy ass.
I see him.
He
was popping bottles in the
60s. He wrong for that shit.
Okay, we talking costumes, honey. Barbara Eden. Okay. So all of the females and the counterparts, okay. We had the $6 million man, then we had the Bionic Woman. But the Bionic Woman she always came in and she just seemed like she was smarter than
Jamie Foster.
Huh?
Who was Jamie Foster? Wasn't that her?
Jamie Summers.
Well, who was Jamie Foster?
Jamie Foster is the black girl, honey, who did Sister to Sister magazine.
Right.
But yeah, so she come in, you know, she would get together and she would always, because I saw an interview with Lindsay Wagner. She said, I did not want this character to be based upon her strengths. One, because that would defeat the purpose of this. She was smart and she was intelligent. And I wanted to make sure that we saw that. And I have the entire 3 seasons of the entire series of The Bionic Woman here. And I have the series of the entire series of, well, naturally I have Wonder Woman. Y'all know I got Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That lasted 3 seasons as well. Okay. Genie and Bewitched. Now, y'all know I'm a Bewitched fan because that's what
you know what? And we just had this conversation, and Naomi, we just had me and her mom just had this conversation because I don't know if Nay knows this, but her dad, you hear this, Linda Blair, her dad, right? He's a Bewitched fan. And he chose Bewitched over Genie.
Yeah, I did too.
And I didn't understand. Like, I'm like, when she said it, I was like, you got to be goddamn kidding me, because Barbara Eden was killed. As far as I was concerned, she was killing Bewitched.
Now, as far as looks was concerned, Barbara, I think, was a little bit more prettier because they played that up for her beauty.
Mm-hmm.
And they allowed her to be sexy. They didn't allow Elizabeth Montgomery and Samantha Stevens to be sexy. She was just a housewife. Okay.
Because I was gonna say, because I found out my father-in-law had a crush on him.
But what it was, see, I think what had happened was the fact that she came in, and you had to understand the time. See, that was the late 60s, early 70s, where women were still docile to men. So you have this woman sitting up here calling her the man master, you know, and just that, and she couldn't do nothing without his approval,
right,
or whatever.
now we had the same thing a little bit with Samantha because but it was her choice. She vowed to say, I'm not going to use my witchcraft, and she had to ask her husband for permission to use it, which made her mama mad. Bitch, this is your birthright.
Right.
Okay, what the fuck is you talking about? And did you marry? Y'all not evenly yoked. How about that for a spiritual reference? Because they wasn't evenly yoked. How dare you marry this mortal? Bitch, do you know who you are? You a queen. Bitch, do you realize your divinity? Bitch. Okay. How about that? Okay, wait a minute. Stan said, but Darren and Major Nelson were both nerds. Well, they were nerds. And the second Darren was even more nerdier than the first one. Okay. And the second Darren was the queen. Ha! In real life. Okay. Wait a minute. He said, my people added TNT Jackson. Oh, stop. Was it Action Jackson? And
yeah, it was. Yeah, Action Jackson and the Wiz.
So yeah. So when he said, let me mic drop the ultimate diva, Angela Bassett. So, back in that particular time, they basically had that, and then they were rival shows because they came out almost at the same time. But Bewitched was ending when Jeannie was picking up. Because now, catch it. Both of them were magical powers and carrying on, coming from different universes and things. Both of them played they twin, rival. This was the cousin on Serena was the cousin, the lookalike cousin. Sister was the sister to Jeannie. Okay, and carrying on. So, and the evil sister, she was the one that wanted to do .
Mm-hmm.
So,
Stan, we already paid homage.
We pay homage to Lola, honey. You can't. That's Vegas royalty right there. Lola Falana was the first black bitch in Vegas, honey, that took over. How? Okay, that took over Vegas. Understand and understand and overstand, understand that.
I'm finna do my drop the mic moment. Diane Carroll.
Okay, no. Okay. That was Eric. Diane Carroll.
Mm-hmm.
Diane Carroll is absolutely. He said Julia. Jan said Julia. Wait a minute. What Florida say? Julia on the welfare?
On the welfare?
Oh, I got to see this. Okay. But that there was that. But all of the female heroes, I mean, look, we had Batman and Robin. Batgirl came in. But then the Cross Super Show came in with Electra Woman and Donna Girl.
Right.
Okay. Oh, you want to go there? You want to go motherfucking there?
Oh, he said Raquel Welch.
Raquel motherfucking Welch, honey.
Well, Farrah Fawcett your ass.
Okay. He said Farrah Fawcett. No, because before there was Raquel Welch, honey, there was Sophia Loren, honey.
Sophia Loren, yeah.
Yvonne DiCarlo. Did you go Yvonne DiCarlo? Not Miss Lillian Monster.
He tripping. He's tripping.
But she was beautiful outside that makeup. A lot of us didn't know that. We don't knew her as Lillian Monster, honey. Oh no, honey. She was absolutely sickening. Okay, breathtaking even. Okay, but a lot of that child. That's what. Hell, look. We had all the cop shows. Okay, we had all the cop. Barnaby Jones, The Streets of San Francisco. Barney Miller, even all the children.
Barney Miller.
But child, listen, When they came out with Get Christy Love, Police Woman, Charlie's Angels, okay. I was always Sabrina Duncan. Every time we played Charlie's Angels, I was Sabrina Duncan because Sabrina was the smart one. Kelly was the fighter.
Farrah was the pretty one. Okay. That's just what it was. When they introduced the women characters and when women started taking over the television series of the 70s, because in the 50s and 60s, they were still Doris Day, you know, docile, doing a lot. Until Annie Oakley. Annie Oakley kind of opened that up a little bit.
Boy, did he put, boy.
Ginger.
Now, you know what? Now, here's something crazy, right? Here's something crazy about that. Now, everybody used to love Ginger.
Right.
But did you know, I don't know what it was. Like I told you before, I was always different. Marianne was my bitch.
Let me tell you something. Ginger never did anything for me because she was always labeled as the sex goddess.
Right.
Okay? And so I always saw her as a tease. I always saw her as a tease and that she wasn't going to put out and for me, you know, as a gay man, and before I knew it, I never thought that she would be worth the fuck. I always thought that the fuck was going to be with Marianne because she was docile, she was sweet and innocent, and she would have kept it to herself.
Yep, I thought Marianne was the baddest motherfucker on the island.
Okay. and because she didn't dress exotically, you know, Ginger was always the one that had the tight fitting dresses and the hair coiffed and carried on.
But see, that goes back to what I told you about me. That's what I picked.
We ever talked about her? We talked about her with Ike Turner, honey, Chuck Turner, rather.
Oh, yeah.
Horror, honey. Miss Nichelle Nichols. When she played there in Chuck Turner, honey, at the child, listen, I saw an interview with her when she said that was one of her most favorite roles because it was something different.
Tony Hall checking in.
Okay, Tony. Oh, well, shut up. We got folks still coming in. Hey, Tony. Hey, baby, what's up? You know, so you know that oh, this is so much fun. That, you know, when we talk about those kind of things, child, that's what that was. Now,
okay, let me ask you this. I'm gonna say a detective's name.
And
you tell me the name of the show. Dan Tanner.
Oh, you better understand Vegas, bitch. Yes. Now catch it, because Vegas was a spinoff from Charlie's Angels, and a lot of folks don't know that. A lot of folks don't know that. Vegas was a spinoff from Charlie's Angels.
So let me ask you this. It was a guy. It was a guy who was the best friend of a detective. His name was Hawk.
You better give me Spencer for hire. Books, baby. Books, and you know oh shit. That big old tall black bald headed motherfucker honey was, oh my God. Oh wait, wait, where my towel? Where my towel? Where my shit? You got my towel, bitch? Wait a minute, where my towel? See, I can't even do my towel. God damn it, fuck it. Never mind. Yeah, that made me nervous. Ooh, Hawk.
Yes, sir.
Hawk. And that motherfucker Spencer. That
was my favorite character in the show was Hawk. That motherfucker show up with that long trench coat and that motherfucking dark glass with that motherfucker. Hey, Ken, remember that gun?
Do y'all remember this one?
Was
ladies and gentlemen, you remember this one? Fame, I wanna live forever.
Okay, that was the shit there. Okay, means who was Captain Kramer? Captain Kramer. Wait a minute. He said Captain Kramer. Avery Brooks, a college professor in real life. Yes, he was. Kramer? Wait a minute, hold on, because I know that, but wait a minute, hold on, don't do it. Captain Kramer, wait a minute. Was that it? The Ghost of, oh wait a minute, I wouldn't have got that. The Ghost of Mrs. Muir. Is that what that was? Captain Kramer? That wasn't Captain Kramer on The Ghost of Mrs. Muir. Captain Kramer. Wait a minute, because I'm hearing it, but I can't visualize it just yet. Hold on, I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it. That wasn't Cagney and Lacey, was it? No, you said, yep, it was the ghost of Mrs. Muir. Okay. Okay. I'm thinking Cagney and Lacey. I don't know why. Yes, I do, because shit. Okay, never mind. But yes. Okay, now listen. We are already at 3.5 hours of being on this show. And I'm gonna have to we could you see me trying to do this all motherfucking night long, honey. He was the ghost in the house that moved. That's right. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes. You got me. Okay, Stan got one, honey. Okay. Yes, sir. Oh, I do remember that now. Yes, I do. Yes. Okay. So now let me do this. Let me let you guys get back into it because I got to get something to eat. I know I've been drinking this damn wine and vodka. Okay, you see, I filled up my glass twice. Y'all didn't know that. Okay. But it was just wine on the Phillips. I didn't put no vodka in it. Okay. Now, did you go Buffy and Jody? Are you going to give me Family Affair? You're not going to give me Buffy and Jody and Mr. French. Stop that now.
He tripping.
Stop that now. And Sissy. Hey, Sissy.
Wow.
Okay. But this okay. See, this is what Feel Good Friday is, to take us back to get us into now what we were supposed to be doing was hands up to 85. I told y'all that earlier, but this became the thing. Y'all know I'm oh hell, we are too. Shit. Okay.
That's so damn crazy.
Okay. But here's the tea. What we're gonna do, we're gonna let you guys go ahead on back into your worlds. It's Friday night for those of you still at home on the computers. That means you guys did not have a date this evening, and that's okay because I didn't either.
Me?
You're welcome, EJ. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Bring a friend, tell a friend.
Okay. All right. You're welcome, baby. Thank you for showing up, honey, the way that you do. Take it like, listen. For everybody, honey, like, share, subscribe to all of the platforms and things of that nature, honey. For those of you, wherever you're listening, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Black GDP. Okay, share this with everybody and let them know that, honey, we are here and we are letting everybody know. What you say, Stan, if you don't know, TV went off at midnight every night with the Nylon anthem. You're young. Exactly. It's supposed to be the national anthem, but yeah, he said nylon. And that's the computer era. Yeah, that's why TV ended. And as a matter of fact, I think what I'm gonna do the next time we come on, I'm gonna find how the TV went off because we got all that white noise. After the national anthem, we got white noise. But ever since we started getting 24-hour news and this, that, and the other, and cable done came in, and now something is always on.
It started with the news.
It started with the news. Yeah, it did. Okay, because cable used to go off. Remember? On and It and Carrying On used to have a certain time that they came on and they went off.
Yeah, remember this? On TV.
Yeah.
Spectrum.
We had because in Detroit it was on our channel 20. Okay, channel 20, which was one of the auxiliary channels.
Right.
At a certain time, it would become our cable station. And if you didn't have cable, you couldn't get a clear signal. But the wave of the stuff used to be so much to where if you concentrated on it long enough, you could see what was happening. You just couldn't get a clear picture.
Yeah, that's how I used to work on.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I'm going because they showed a lot of adult content on there, which was that we knew of at the time.
Because that's where your Emmanuels and sex boats and all that shit came from back then.
Exactly. Before Spectre, there was Channel 100. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming in, honey. If you love me, tell a friend. If you hate me, honey, well, tell all your enemies. But do know there's one way, shape, style, form, or fashion. Everything that we do here at Dishing Tea Entertainment, honey, will move forward. You may finish all of your crumpets, darling, because the tea has been dished. And you've been dishing tea, darlings. How? With Big Meech and the big guy ally. That's Big Red over there, honey. Until the next time, honey, we will be back with you tomorrow or the next day. However, y'all looking at this, and we will all make sure that this is happening. Okay, so until the next time, my darlings.